What's up? Welcome to today's live stream. I'm him. Today is Wednesday, May 21st. And I'll be watching some videos and talking. That's it. Yo, what's up, Cruz? How you doing? Sorry, I'm like, I gotta close some things on my computer or on my in Safari. Can y'all believe that's the browser that I use is Safari? Wait, did I just? Oh my gosh, I was just looking at something and now I can't find it. I was literally just looking at it. It's a picture that I wanted to share with y'all because I think it's funny. Oh, here we are. I found it. Y'all ready for it? You ready? Look at that. Oh man, yes. The best surprise a husband can receive. And she's gonna say it's his son, I'm sure. I already know it. All right, anyway, let me go ahead and close that, and we'll go ahead and get a new window opened. Move this off to the side. We'll hide that actually. Ah, shit. Why did it hide both? Yeah, we'll do that. All right, so we're going to start off with a video that's in After Hours. This was shared by someone in the Discord. For this works, if you are here and you're wondering, like, yes, I have a Discord. You can find it if you go to my channel. And if you want, if you go to and find the channel After Hours Live, you can drop stuff in there that you want me to, you know, watch live and talk shit about. All right, so let's get started with the first one. This is an hour, bro. This is an hour. I'm gonna give 30 minutes to this. I'm gonna give 30 minutes. Or is there a part that I should be watching on this cruise? Yeah, I'm gonna put 30 minutes on the clock. I'm not doing an hour. Actually, I'll come in and readjust it if it seems like, yeah, sure, I should go a little bit longer. Let's turn on music.
Good. Okay, great.
Also, am I gonna get?
Do you want to talk?
I don't know if I want to have. Will CNN like take down my stream? CNN seems like one of those types of media companies. First half hour. Okay. All right. Well.
About your special?
Sure.
Give me the short version.
It's a comedy special on Netflix, and I think it's the most important thing ever, and it will change the course of human history. So you should watch if you'd like to be a part of that. As we know, podcasters are like the most important people in the world. Actually, we didn't know that, but now I've realized it, that we are the arbiters of all things, and comedians matter. Yeah. We thought we were just trying to get over stuff that our family did to us, but it's big news. So it's super important, and you should watch it with your whole family, and the course of history will change. There's a lot going on.
I've been researching comedy, essentially, the way comedy is now.
Yes.
She's been researching comedy. That's a statement. That's a statement. Okay.
So I've been talking to lots of people. And one of the comedians that I interviewed said that he thought more people were looking to people like you for their news and opinion because the news got a little dumber and comedians got a little smarter. Tell me what you think about that. Like, why is this happening?
Well, I think that the news has said a variation of the same thing for a very long time, and I think people just tend to get bored, right? I mean, you had institutions like this. You had institutions.
All right, hold on. He talks a little too slow for me. Both of them. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I'm gonna have to speed this up. 1 point. I'll compromise for y'all. We'll do 1.25x.
Institutions like Fox, and largely they fell, on opposite sides of the same question. So I think just the idea that you have different emerging platforms and different voices, people are just, saying, all kinds of things. Some of them are crazy. Some of them are the most insane things you've ever heard. Some of them have value. Some of them don't. I think it's just a lot more interesting to people, especially people who grew up online or are younger people, seem to gravitate towards that kind of media more than the kind of fake, stilted corporate speak of kind of the traditional legacy media. But I don't know if it's that comedians have gotten smarter or media's gotten dumber. I think media's just kind of become predictable and boring, and the internet has kind of been an antidote to that.
I've heard comedy podcasts referred to as a friendship simulator. What do you think about that?
I think it's comforting to hear somebody you listen to a lot. I don't know if it's a friendship simulator, but I think that there's something comforting about turning on something that you listen to a lot in the same way that watching a television show you like was comforting. Mm-hmm. I think it's comforting to, anything that's recurring seems to provide a level of comfort. And I think podcasts are intimate, like radio, they're very intimate because you're listening to something. A lot of times you're alone. You're, driving your car, working out, taking a walk, cooking, whatever. So I think there's an intimacy to that other forms of media might lack.
So I'm sure you're aware of the, where's the liberal Joe Rogan, that whole conversation.
Yes, that is a question they're asking.
That is a question they're asking. So I mean,
Wait, what? Where is a liberal Joe Rogan? Is she stupid? Obviously she is. Look at how her eyes are. Yeah, she's obviously stupid. Joe Rogan is liberal. What is she on? What crack cocaine is this woman smoking? When did Joe Rogan become not liberal? What the hell? Okay.
I was interested in that. I did a lot of research, but I think that's maybe not the most interesting question. However, I think you have to admit, Joe Rogan has changed comedy.
I think Joe Rogan has changed media.
Can you explain how that works?
Well, Joe Rogan has this amazingly popular platform where he's led by his interests, meaning like he's bringing on people that have these long-form conversations. In a world where everything's like consumed in like 30-second clips or 60-second clips and 15-second clips, Joe Rogan is having 3-hour discussions with people on anything from conspiracy theories to science to, paleontology. He's all over the map, but he's led by his interests and he's accountable to himself and his audience, right? I mean, he's kind of like blazed this trail of like, I'm interested in certain things and I'm going to talk about them with people who I find interesting.
What I'm sensing is that these people really hate the fact that there's someone who, in their mind, who isn't on their side, who's successful without them. They can't control the narrative. So, like, what do you need a liberal Joe? Like, do they think that people who listen and like Joe Rogan are just going to listen and like someone else? Joe Rogan actually has things that people like myself value, even though I don't watch him. Like, the dude is a UFC fighter type person. You know, he was Fear Factor. I don't find Joe Rogan that funny. I've never seen his comedy, but I mean, nothing that I've seen from him makes me like, oh yeah, he's someone who I would go and see. But what he's saying is right. Like, he just talks. He doesn't try to be the smartest person in the room. He's not out to say who's right and who's wrong and I'm correct. That's what corporate media does. That's what this environment is. It's just like, it's always this appeal to like academia. And somehow they've installed themselves on the throne of just, we are the arbiters of truth. Maybe I don't know, do they not realize that people don't like being like talked down to, told what to think and told how they should act, and like, nah, that's the problem. So their movement or what their ideology is not sustainable. All it does is antagonizes people. Like, it pushes people away. They're not inclusive. They talk about inclusivity, but they're anything but that. They're not inclusive. It's like, oh, you don't agree with me on this one thing, even though there are 50 things that we agree about. Well, no, fuck you. You're over here. That's really the problem. And you know, who the hell wants to be a part of that kind of group? I damn sure don't.
There's no real media.
Yeah, you said you hit it on the nail. You hit the nail on the head, Cruz. That's the word I was looking for. And like they all sound condescending, like this holier than thou type of rhetoric. It's just like, you know, for whatever reason, they don't realize that people don't have to tune into their shit. And in a world where we have alternatives, why the hell would I ever tune into their shit? Like, let's say that, you know, I don't really watch Joe Rogan. I watch other people, but, you know, there are hundreds of incredibly popular streamers who seem to have same types of mindset as Joe Rogan. So they're trying to push Hassan, what's his name? I don't know his last name. Hassan Pike, whatever his last name is. They're trying to push him as that alternative. I'm just like, these people really have no idea. Some rich Nepo baby is going to be the lead. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure.
Was structured like that ever, right? I mean, that's not how any of these companies were structured. It wasn't like, come on in, what are you guys interested in? Let's talk about it. It was kind of like, these are the stories and here's how we're going to cover them and here's the angle. So I think the entire structure of what
I don't watch CNN at all
has changed everything because it's...
In all honesty, when I saw CNN, I'm just like, I didn't even click on it. I'm only watching it because you shared it. If you didn't share it, I wouldn't be watching anything about CNN. I don't care, but I don't value any opinions from that group.
opened up this idea that you could do that. You could pursue a strategy of talking to people that you find interesting and then growing a tremendously successful platform out of that.
Rogan moved to Austin, opened a comedy club there, and now all these comedians have moved.
He moved to Austin, the most liberal city in Texas. It's basically California. But they're talking about where's our liberal Joe. It's like he's in Austin. That's where your liberal Joe Rogan is.
Austin, to be part of that world.
Yeah.
Like, how does that work? Like, what is that like?
I think it's like any type of clubhouse that you have, right? So you have like all of these different great clubs, and you have a Comedy Cellar in New York and Comedy Store in LA. And, you know, he's opened a great comedy club in Austin where we have a lot of people go there to perform, and there's a lot of comedy fans that go. So he's cultivated a lot of people that want to come, and he's made it kind of a destination for people that want to see comedy.
Is it a particular kind of comedy?
I think in some cases, yes.
Like, is
right?
it anti-woke or?
I think you're far less likely to find that type. Like, the word woke is kind of a boring word, but like.
What do you mean anti-woke comedy? Can it just be woke comedy? Like on that topic? And what's what, like, I'm anti-woke. Fuck that shit.
I think you're absolutely more likely to find the type of comedy that Joe likes at his comedy club, which is like kind of edgy, no holds barred, in the sense that, like, you know, they're not policing anybody can say anything as long as there's a good faith effort to make it funny. Mm-hmm. So I think that there are people that believe, and they're well within their rights to believe this, that there are topics and words that are off limits. And I don't think Joe feels that way. I think he feels that, like, the people that come into the club, if they have a good faith effort to make a topic funny or an idea funny, that they should be allowed the space to do that. And there are people that disagree with him on that. And there are places that you're far less likely to see certain topics talked about in a funny way because people just don't, they believe that they're off the table.
And, like, what's your relationship with Rogan? Like, you've been on his show.
He's my father.
Well, you've been on his show.
We've never talked about it, and it's because I'm overweight. And he will not admit it. But he is my father. No, I've been on his show multiple. He's a great friend. I respect him, and he's been very nice and generous to me.
How does going on his show affect your career?
People, he shares his audience. He's got a massive audience. He allows you to come on and say what you want and be funny and be interesting or whatever you're going to be, and he shares his audience. It's a very generous thing to do. And there's not a lot of people who do that, by the way. There's not
Tell me more about that.
Well, there's just not tons of people at his level that give opportunities to people the way he does.
Yeah.
There are some.
But does a young comedian have to shape his act to try to
Not at all. Joe Rogan is one podcast. It's a very big podcast, but it's one podcast in a world of podcasts, in a world of social media apps. There are comedians that have blown up on TikTok who are selling out theaters. That why would they need to shape their act? Me, I would never shape anything. Yeah. Me and Joe see a lot of things in a similar way. Yeah. Even though we're very different on paper, we see a lot of things in a similar way. So I didn't have to shape it. I don't think people go in there shaping. It would be probably quite obvious if they did.
Okay.
3 hours is a long time with someone. So if you're completely full of SHIT, it might be apparent.
But do you ever look at some comedians who's doing a joke like, DE, I don't think so.
Yeah.
And you're like,
I've never heard DE, I don't think so.
What DE, what? What kind of interview is this? What the hell is he talking about? This is funny to you, like, this is funny? I think we have very different tastes. I think I would find Tenet trash at this point. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm just like, I'm gonna watch it though. I'll get in.
I made that up. Okay. I tried to do the shortest.
By the way, there is definitely someone doing that.
That's what I mean.
There's definitely someone doing that. Yeah, that would be not a good joke.
I know,
That's
but
not a great joke.
All right, let me give you an example.
Okay.
And I won't name the person.
Okay.
But there's a comedian who lives near me.
Okay.
And he has this joke about how he walks all around New York and he sees all these flags from all these different countries, but he never sees the American flag.
Yeah.
Well, we live near each other, and I know he's talking about this little Caribbean grocery store that's got a little plastic streamer of Caribbean flags, and I'm like, it feels a little phony to me. And I'm like, it feels like he's like trying to appeal to a certain audience. I'm not accusing you of that, by the way.
No. I mean, I've never been to that
analysis.
Caribbean grocery store. I don't live in your neighborhood. Do I think people exaggerate things for the benefit of comedy? Probably all the time.
But like, are they pitching themselves to like a Fox audience?
Wait, are you talking about this part? This is the first part. This is a 1 hour and 11-minute interview. I would classify the first 9 minutes as the first part. I'm gonna classify it. I'm gonna give it a little bit. I'm gonna go a little bit more.
Couldn't know that, but everyone's pitching themselves to somebody. So when I hear a comedian do something like that, or I hear a comedian talk about how terrible it was that they went home and their parents were like the most racist people ever, and they were so out of touch and whatever. And it's usually like, my parents are trying to be liberal, but they're not, and here's why they're evil. And you're like, okay. It usually feels like it's something that's been wildly blown out of proportion, because that's most of comedy, right? It's like taking something and then extrapolating something from it. I mean, I don't know that particular joke, but like, it just feels like the basis of a lot of jokes is like, let's blow something up beyond the scope of its actual meaning to make it kind of goofy or make it symbolic of something else. So I think a lot of people do that in comedy. They just find something that's symbolic of something else they want to talk about.
But do you, I mean,
like when
you must like to shit talk. I mean, I shit talk within my industry.
Of course.
Do you ever see other comedians
and think they're not good? Yes,
but like
we all do.
Like going for this like overt political
all
content.
over. Yes, on the right and the left, absolutely. But there's comedians that are doing that from. It's not just people that are appealing to the right or to the left. It's people that are appealing to, like, there's the mom comedian that every joke's I'm a mom. There's every joke is that I'm this or I'm that. There's sometimes every joke is about, I don't know, being a twin or something. I don't know, like. There's always an annoying version of that where you go, oh, so everything you think about is filtered through this lens?
Okay.
That's annoying. I think across the board. Yes, are there people that we hear and we go, oh, that's annoying with the right wing stuff? Absolutely. And with the left wing stuff, and with the, my kids, no one, whatever it is. It's like, or the Italian stuff. Do you know how much is going on right now, like this Italian nostalgia? It's disgusting. All my friends are Italian. We all grew up with chicken parmesan. We all know what it is. Enough already. It's crazy. I hate this. You see this on the internet. People act like a meatball is like a new thing. No one talks like that.
Bro, I can't do it. I don't care. I just don't care, bro. I'm not even gonna give it a like, but I will share it in here. Just for anyone who wants to watch it. If y'all are enjoying it, feel free to go watch it. All right, let's go on and go to where. Okay, here we are. Go to my playlist. I put a bunch of stuff on my watch later playlist earlier today in preparation for this. And before I get into this playlist here, I want to also play this right here. I found it. Huh? No, don't do this. She's cooking
right now.
An embarrassment is the fact that we rank highest among abortion, single-family households, STDs, and divorce. That's an embarrassment. An embarrassment is that we start GoFundMes for murderers. That's an embarrassment. Agreed. It's embarrassing that kids know the songs to Cardi B's WAP, but can't read or write. Agreed. That's embarrassing. It's embarrassing that politicians get to say things like she keeps hot sauce in her bag or they're gonna lock y'all back up in chains, and they still get your vote. That's embarrassing. It's embarrassing that y'all still listen to rich celebrities telling you guys how oppressed you are. That's embarrassing. What's embarrassing is that you call me names like a bootlicker, a pick-me, a coon, but you went and lined up and got the shot not once, but 3 times. That's embarrassing. What's embarrassing is that you guys haven't woken up yet to the fact that you're being used to usher in the Antichrist one world Marxist agenda. That's embarrassing. It's not an embarrassment. Someone like me, someone who's free thinking, someone who knows that it's us versus them. It's freedom versus socialism. Yeah, I'm a Trump supporter. I voted for him. This is what I voted for. So what you can do is you can thank me later. How about that?
Well, I was told that it's nothing but racists who voted for that dude. So it's a diverse set of racists in this country. I found that those racist people have been incredibly nice to me. So, I'm just gonna leave that there and we're gonna move on. Let's see here. Which one do we want to start off with? We have a lot of different things. I haven't pulled these off yet, off the list, but I'll scroll down to where the new stuff is. I added a lot more this time. Where is it? Oh, here we are. Yeah. So, from 26 on up to 1. So I have 26 videos that I added. So I can start at the top, which I think is the latest one, or I can start at 26, which I think is, I'm gonna start here. The collapse of the fall of beauty in our society, part 1. Oh yeah. We're supposed to watch that first. My bad. I went on this CNN thing. It's probably gonna tank my VOD. Not even gonna lie. Like I don't foresee anyone actually stand on that on this VOD after that.
symbolic, whatever you may call it, legend.
Also, did you think the South African president is actually committing genocide? What do you mean actually committing genocide as opposed to fakely committing genocide? You do understand what the definition of that word is, right? Like, it's by definition, that's what it is. It's not really do I think something. It's like it fits the characteristics of what a genocide is. You're targeting a specific group of people, and you're either killing them or, you know, trying to erase their culture or trying to push them off, you know, like push them out of the country or off their land. That's what that is. Or, you know, more than that, like, you know, putting them in prison, like that's what that is. So I don't know if I think that that's what he's doing. That, I mean, it would seem to be the case from some of the South Africans I have spoken to that that's actually happening to them. I know both black and white South Africans, so that it seems that's the case. All right, let's watch this. This was, I liked this.
Thank you, Mr. President. So May 25th will be the celebration.
Are you asking, do I agree that it's that they're hating white people? Do I think that he agrees with us saying that he's committing genocide? To be honest, I don't care whether he agrees. English is our language. We have our definitions and it fits that concept. So it's like, you know, maybe he disagrees that, you know, we're not using the right word from our language to describe this concept that he's committing, but it's like, it's not his position to say. It's our language. So I don't know or care if he agrees with with the word. It's like, it doesn't matter whether he agrees with it. Obviously, maybe you haven't never here. How about this? Let's watch something, because maybe you don't know what's going on there. This dude was singing. Let's see, South African president. Boer song. I saw him at a rally. Well, this is an older one, but there's some newer ones.
You when I'm sit. Where you when I'm dream. So fast, Kichi.
Oh wait, let me killing. Maybe this will be the later one.
The poor, the farmer.
So what you're listening to is a video of a South African political leader, Julius Malema, chanting "Kill the Boer" in a now viral clip.
Okay, so Boer are the white South Africans. So this is like the leader of the country at a giant political rally. All the audiences, they love it. And he's saying, kill the white people. So like, what the fuck? Like, I don't even know. What are you asking? Like, what else is that? What would you consider that? I don't know what it is, other than what is genocide. That's what it is. Yes, he was shocked because he got called out. He probably wasn't prepared to have to watch himself, you know, saying these things and for it to be public. It looked like he was very uncomfortable. And this has been happening. It's gotten worse over the past 10 years, but it's been happening for 10, 15 years or so. But it's gotten a lot worse now. This is not new. It's just, maybe it's new to you, but it's not new. It's been an ongoing problem, and you know, there've been all kinds of issues, and this is why a lot of South Africans move. They have a brain drain problem. They don't want to live there. And most of the South Africans who you'll meet abroad are typically white. That's why. You know, you think they want to leave their homes? There's a guy who, like, he went to China because he was just like, as a South African, he was like, where else can I go? He eventually made it over here to America, but you know, he's had some incidents, and he has a story on YouTube about something that happened to him and his family when he was younger, when he was a kid. You know, so yeah.
What is your message to the entire African continent, African people in this important occasion?
Well, I want to see peace, and I want to see happiness. I want to see health, and you know, you have incredible.
Yeah, so that's why he was surprised. It's because he probably wasn't prepared for this man Trump to have receipts. Like, just think about that, right? Like, you come on, like, most politicians lie, and then, you know, he's over here saying, oh, I didn't say these things, and then he's like, hey, turn down the lights, play the video. And then it's him singing "Kill the Whites." Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's embarrassing.
Value. A lot of countries don't have that value in the land, the value you have. You know,
his delegation looked embarrassed too.
I think you probably heard about it. We've done, through some very talented people, helped settle a war that's been raging for years, Rwanda and the Congo. And I think we've done it.
Oh wait, Rwanda and Congo, that conflict is settled now? Because they recently flared up. It's like recently, within the past month. I didn't know, or 2 months. I'm sorry, 2 months. That's good if it is actually over with. No, yeah, that's good that if it's over with.
Believe it or not, I think we've done it. And could you just say a few words about that, my friend?
Yes. A couple of weeks ago, the two parties signed a declaration of principles in which they agreed on the way forward, and they have both submitted draft peace agreements, and the dude
that's saying "kill the white people" is this dude right here that's sitting next to Donald Trump. It's him, this guy. It's not a different political person. He's been saying this shit for years. For years. This isn't new. I'm cutting you slack because I know you just turned 20. Happy birthday. But yeah, this has been going on for years, bro. The reason why you likely don't know about it is, well, one, American media rarely covers anything that happens internationally outside of Europe. Let's just be real. Or Mexico or Canada. Like, we don't care about Africa in this country. We only care about certain Middle Eastern countries in this country. There are a lot of them. We don't care about Central Asian. We don't really care about South Asian. We care about Iran, but that's his own little thing. We don't care about most of Asia unless it's China. So yeah, that's probably why you don't know about
one that incorporates both of their suggestions, and we've given it to them. So we're in the process of finalizing.
Looking
this.
good, right?
Looking very good.
No, we have to thank you for even those efforts, because
for what it's worth, when I was in Kenya, I was hanging out with like 20 or so South African. Are they Afrikaners, or I forget what they call themselves. I think they call themselves Afrikaners, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see, Afrikaners. Yeah. They're Afrikaners. And they, we were talking about some of the things, and you can tell that they really love their country, where they're from. They were saying I should come out and visit and, hang out and all that kind of stuff. And I was saying, like, I was worried because I heard all these bad things, and they were like, no, we live a little farther north now. I think they were in Johannesburg, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe there's another place. I have to look on a map and it'll remind me of the name. But they're like, no, like, our area is for the most part safe. But if you go further south, like to Cape, gosh, what's the name of the city? Cape something, Cape Town. I don't know. Whatever the big port is down south, they're like that part is dangerous. And I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, we don't really go there that much. I was like, and I was like, is it dangerous for me? They're like, we wouldn't recommend going there. And they were talking about all of the infrastructure issues with electricity and all kinds of things. And while I was in Africa, obviously, because I'm in Africa, they have more news coverage on what's going on in the continent. So I was made very aware of what's going on down there. And, you know, it's not just African media, but, you know, Middle Eastern, MENA region. They have their media covering stuff out there as well. So, yeah.
Particularly SADC, our Southern African Development Community, has for years been seeking to foster peace in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. So all efforts, including those from outside the continent and inside the continent, are really worthwhile. We are removing
I've been to DRC
from there so that peace can then prevail in that whole area.
I should have took pictures. I didn't.
That with the support of the international community, we will really have peace in that area. It's so vital, it's so important for the whole region.
Well, we sent our people there, and I think we did a very good job, as headed by my friend, and that was great. That was great. I mean, I'm just hearing phenomenal reports because all I'm hearing is death, and they're chopping heads off, and it's horrible over there. And it was really brave of you to go there, and I really appreciate it. And it looks like that. It looks like we have something very, very substantial. We also talked about trade with them in terms of rare earth and all, but really more for the. It's like if you take a look at what we just did with Pakistan and India, we settled that whole thing, and I think I settled it through trade. We're doing a big deal with India. We're doing a big deal with Pakistan, and I said, "What are you guys doing?" You know, somebody had to be the last one to shoot. But the shooting was getting worse and worse, bigger and bigger, deeper and deeper into the countries. And we spoke to them, and I think you know, I hate to say we got it settled, and then 2 days later, something happens, and they say it's Trump's fault. But Pakistan has got some excellent people and some really good, great leader. And India is my friend, Modi.
No, one thing that I've noticed is that a lot of the mainstream media hates the fact that he calls these people good men and all that kind of stuff. But what it shows to me is that they are being led by people who are either A, saying this in bad faith, or B, they are of the opposite gender as me. And they don't understand how to work together. We have to work together. So you can't talk down and like disrespect these people and then expect to get something done by working together. So how he refers to all these people, I've noticed this about Trump, is like he always kind of hypes up people, you know, especially people in his corner, people who he's, you know, doing deals with or working with. And I don't know why this isn't obvious, but that's how you get stuff done. You need people on your side, you know, like that's anyway.
He's a great guy. And I called them both, and we just did something good. We're trying to settle Russia-Ukraine. We spoke with President Putin for 2.5 hours the day before yesterday. I think we made a lot of progress, but that's a bloodbath. 5,000 people are being killed a week, 5,000 soldiers a week, not including people in cities and towns that are also being killed. So we're trying to help. And it doesn't affect us. It's not our people. It's not our soldiers. It's Ukraine, and it's
5,000 people a week.
5,000 souls.
5,000 a week. That's more than 250,000. I think that's what, 260,000 people a year. At that pace, in 4 years, that's 1 million people.
You know, pretty good at it.
It's insane.
But that's a bad situation. That is a really bad situation.
Well, you recall when President Zelensky was coming to South Africa, that's when I spoke to you.
That's right.
We both agreed that we need to push the peace message so that there can really be peace. And we've been involved in the Ukraine-Russia conflict for quite a while. So my Minister of State Security here, we've been dealing with them, the exchange of children who were taken away, going through names and addresses and all that. So we've been invested in that whole process as well. And the moves that you're making are fully supported by us because we would like to see the end of that war.
It's true. I called Zelensky, and they said, he's in South Africa. I said, what the hell is he doing in South Africa?
He was talking to us.
We got this one. That's a strange one. I said, what are you doing in South Africa?
Yes.
That's a strange one.
He's trying to make peace. But we're taking him, you know, we were lucky because we had the great Nelson Mandela who taught us how to create peace, to make peace. So we were imparting some of those
Oh man,
lessons.
he went there. He went there. We had Nelson Mandela who taught us how to, it's like he didn't teach all well. I'm sorry. Like Nelson Mandela was a great man, a great leader and all that kind of stuff, but these people didn't learn that lesson.
those learnings. And I specifically mentioned to him that this is how Nelson Mandela taught us, that when you want to have a peace in a country, do it on an unconditional basis and sit down and talk. And that's precisely what I'm sure he's going to
man,
do.
he just dug, he's digging himself in the hole.
There's a lot of hatred, there's a lot of death, it's a bloodbath.
It is. Unfortunately.
I get the satellite pictures of that field, of that killing field. You never saw anything like it in your life. It's horrible. It's a horrible thing that goes on, but I think we've made big progress. Yeah, please, go ahead. No, not you. Right here. He's from South Africa. Go ahead, please.
What are you expecting on the ICJ case? Are you expecting South Africa to drop that? Is that what you're trying to do?
On which case?
The ICJ
The International
case is
Criminal Justice.
I don't expect anything, to be honest. I really don't. I don't know. It's they've got a case. There's a lot of anger there, tremendous anger. I don't expect anything. We'll see what happens. We'll have a ruling, and who knows what the ruling is going to mean. Yeah.
On that subject of Gaza, Mr. President, are you going to be speaking to Prime Minister Netanyahu about Israel's renewed offensive there? There's been a lot of concern from European countries. The Pope has expressed concern. Are you going to be asking Prime Minister Netanyahu to?
Now, I want you to take notice on these questions that they're asking. They have the dude leading South Africa. They're talking about probably South African stuff. And they're asking about something completely different. They don't care. That's what I mean. Like, here in this country, we don't care about Africa. And when I say we, I don't mean literally we, me, but like people in our state, our media, they don't they don't care. And this is a example of that right here.
Down the offensive in Gaza to let more aid in?
Was that a question or a statement? This guy's, you never change.
Mr. President Assad, what will it take for you to be convinced that there's no white genocide in South Africa?
Well, I can answer that for the President. It's,
no, seriously. I'd rather have him answer.
Yeah, I'd rather answer that. It will be,
our President will respond to you. Thank you, Mr. President.
It will take President Trump listening to the voices of South Africans, some of whom are his good friends, like those who are here. When we have talks between us around a quiet table, it will take President Trump to listen to them. I'm not going to be repeating what I've been saying.
Wait. Did you say that that's what it's going to take to end the genocide? Is that our president has to listen? I'm confused. Go on.
I would say if there was Afrikaner farmer genocide, I can bet you these three gentlemen would not be here, including my Minister of Agriculture. He would not be with me. So it'll take him, President Trump, listening to their stories, to their perspective. That is the answer to your question.
Their perspective, their stories.
We have, wait. We have thousands of stories talking about it. Sure. And we have documentaries, we have news stories. And is Natalie here? Somebody here to turn that? I could show you.
Damn. So, yeah, this is, yeah.
It has to be responded to. Yeah, sure. Let me see the articles, please, if you would. And turn the lights down. Turn the lights down. Surprise, and just put this on. It's right behind you.
That's where we at.
This parliament can do. With or without you, people are going to occupy land. We require no permission from you, from the president, no one. We don't care. You can do whatever you want to do. Who are you to tell us whether we can occupy land? Occupy land. That's what we are.
He looks so uncomfortable, bro. You can tell he is uncomfortable. He's shifting, he's squeezing his hands. He is uncomfortable. That smile that you see, that's an uncomfortable smile. Because what else can you do? Look, he's trying not even to look to any, he's trying to avoid all eye contact right now with everyone.
Not because Bashama and Sorin will not be touched. They will be touched, no one. But we are starting with this whiteness. We are cutting the throat of whiteness. Shoot, kill, Yamasa, kill the brewer, the farmer, kill the brewer, the farmer.
Kill the Boer. Shoot to kill.
I'm saying to you, was not called for the killing of white people, at least for now. I can't guarantee the future. Yeah, but I mean, you don't understand somebody watching that, especially as it gets shared on Twitter. They freak out. It sounds like a genocidal. I can't take it.
I love how Trump is just looking off to the side.
Who will expropriate land without compensation, whether they like it or not. If they object, they can seek refugee in America.
Now this is very bad. These are
Nope, there's more. He's like, it's not done.
Burial sites. Over 1,000 of white farmers.
So what he's describing, those I don't think those are technically burial sites. I think they are memorials to the farmers that are on the side of the road. They're not actually burial sites. But, you know, I'm pretty sure someone in our mainstream media is going to like say something like, oh, those on burial sites, and kind of leave out the fact that they're still memorials of people who did die. So like he's wrong, but he's right at the same time. Each one of those white crosses does represent someone who is no longer here. A Boer, like, you know, white Afrikaner. It's one of them. Now, are they actually buried there off the side of the road? No, they're not. But
to pay love on a Sunday morning, each one of those white things you see is a cross, and there's approximately 1,000 of them. They're all white farmers, the family of white farmers. And those cars aren't driving, they're stopped there to pay respects to their family member who was killed. And it's a terrible sight. I've never seen anything like it. Both sides of the road, you have crosses. Those people were all killed.
Have they told you where that is, Mr. President? No, I'd like to know where that is, because this I've never seen. Okay.
I mean, it's in South Africa. That's what.
He's like, it's in South Africa. I don't know. I'm not South African, bro. I don't know. Also, I think it's important to say that, yes, every country has laws, but that doesn't mean that they have the ability to truly enforce those laws, which is why there are a lot of countries that are kind of lawless. You know, like you have to do a lot of things, or, you know, cross the wrong person type of thing before something actually happens. But even then, depending on what you're doing, how much wealth you have, that may not mean anything. So basically I'm saying is that, you know, America and the majority of the West, rule of law dominate, but that's not the case everywhere. And for whatever reason, people in our country don't seem to understand that the rest of the world is not America. Even Americans don't understand, like our state, like think about China and America, and how, you know, we're very evangelical here, where we try to evangelize democracy to everyone, but it's like we don't understand that these different civilizations are different. They have different value systems, different cultures. They've existed. Most of them have existed for longer than America. It's like all these things, but we are just blind to the fact that, you know, they're different. So we think we can just apply, you know, our way of thinking to them, and it'll just work. And that's why we have so many failed military operations in our countries, because we seem to not be able to learn that lesson. The last big one was Afghanistan. We had people in our country who had the smart idea to try to conquer a 4,000-year-old civilization that's never been conquered. The same one that destroyed the USSR. Think about that.
Mr. President, the Pentagon announced it would be accepting a Qatari jet to be used as Air Force One.
Look at that. You see that? You see that? Like, this 1,000 people killed. He just saw a video. He's looking at this man's reaction, and his question is, so Qatar sent to you a jet. It's like, bruh. So I understand why he gets mad here.
What are you talking about? You know, you gotta get out of here. What does this have to do with the Qatari jet? They're giving the United States Air Force a jet, okay? And it's a great thing. We're talking about a lot of other things. It's NBC trying to get off the subject of what you just saw. You are a real, you know, you're a terrible reporter. Number one, you don't have what it takes to be a reporter. You're not smart enough. But for you to go into a subject about a jet that was given to the United States Air Force, which is a very nice thing. They also gave $5.1 trillion worth of investment in addition to the jet. Go back, you ought to go back to your studio at NBC, because Brian Roberts and the people that run that place, they ought to be investigated. They are so terrible the way you run that network, and you're a disgrace. No more questions from you. Go ahead. Go ahead, talk about that. His name is Peter something. He's a terrible reporter.
He calls him out.
Quiet. Let's go.
Thank you so much. President Trump, Anna Glasgow from ENCA in South Africa.
Thank you very much.
What would you like President Ramaphosa to do about the situation that we've just seen on the screen?
I don't know. Look, these are articles over the last few days. Death of people. Death. Horrible death. Death. I don't know. To pick anyone. White South Africans are fleeing because of the violence and racist laws. And this is all, I mean, I'll give these to you. So when you say, what would I like to do? I don't know what to do. Look at this. White South African couple say that they were attacked violently.
President Trump, when will you go and see for yourself if it is indeed true?
Well, I could do that. Look, here's burial sites all over the place. These are all white farmers that are being buried. And he asks about a jet that was given. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You know, you are so bad. You're such a bad reporter. This is one after another. This family was wiped out. I'm just looking.
Can we get a report from President Ramaphosa?
Your reaction to those videos, Mr. President?
Well, I think the videos are so. No. When you look at the videos, I mean, how does it get worse? And these are people that are officials, and they're saying that kill the white farmer and take their land.
Damn.
And I have other friends in South Africa. I have people that left. One in particular that says you can't go there. He said they want to take your land. They take your land and they kill you. It's okay, and they say it's okay to do. Now we're going to talk about it, but this is a tremendous. Look, this is a story recent. These are all people that recently got killed.
Yeah.
And I don't know how it can get any worse. These are and you know, the men that you saw, the people that you saw in that movie, those are officials. Those are people that were in office. They had one march. They had a dance in your parliament, whatever you may call it, legislature.
Whatever you may call it.
Let me clarify that, because what you saw,
I think they have a
the speeches
parliament
that were being made. One, that is not government policy. We have a multi-party democracy in South Africa that allows people to express themselves, political parties to adhere to various policies, and in many cases, or in some cases, those policies do not go along with government policy. Our government policy is completely against what he was saying, even in the parliament. And they're a small minority party, which is allowed to exist in terms of our constitution.
But you do allow them to take land.
No.
You do allow them to take land.
Nobody can
and
take
then when
land.
they take the land, they kill the white farmer. And when they kill the white farmer, nothing happens to them.
No, there is
nothing happens.
There is criminality in our country. People who do get
There's criminality in South
unfortunately,
Africa.
through
That's a good
criminal
one.
activity are not only white people. Majority
You know,
of them
South Africa used to be a superpower. It was one of the world's superpowers. But you know, they had their apartheid thing, and you know, America didn't really like that, so we sanctioned them. And yeah, they lost it all because they wanted to go that route. For what it's worth, apartheid was the Afrikaners doing this, like they were doing it, and now it's the opposite. Now it's the black people trying to get retribution or vengeance or whatever. But yeah, it's a little.
And we have now
The farmers are
utilized.
black. The farmers are not black.
We have
I don't
now-
say that's good or bad, but the farmers are not black. And the people that are being killed in large numbers, and you saw all those grave sites, and those are people that loved ones going, I guess on a Sunday morning, they told me, to pay respect to their loved ones that were killed.
Maybe I shouldn't say
Heads chopped off.
superpower. Maybe I shouldn't say superpower, but it was very wealthy. Here, let's see. South Africa in the 60s. Yeah, see, it was, this is when this was really big. And let's go to GDP. And then I'll do rank. Okay. Is it gonna, maybe there's no data that far back. This is one thing you got to keep in mind about other countries is they don't have the systems that we have here. Yeah, so I know this may not seem like this is US. Wait. Oh, this is in US dollar, but this isn't a comparison. But you got to also keep in mind inflation, right? Like just think about that, inflation. Yeah, well, this isn't going, I'm not going to be able to do it. I don't want to waste too much time with that right now.
Died violently. And, you know, I mean, we're here to talk about it, and I didn't know we'd get involved here. But I will say this, that if the news wasn't fake, like NBC, which is fake news, totally, one of the worst, ABC, NBC, CBS, horrible. But they weren't fake news like this jerk.
Damn, going in on these like this jerk facing it.
The fake news in this country doesn't talk about that. They don't want to talk about it, but now they have to talk about it. But they won't. This won't even be a subject. They'll have him talking about why did a country give a free, think of this, why did a country give an airplane to the United States Air Force? Okay, the United States, not to me, to the United States Air Force, so they could help us out because we need an Air Force One until that's Air Force One, it's being built.
Because Boeing
It's
is,
built.
it's
But
their,
Boeing's a little bit later.
yeah.
Yeah. So why did they give us a plane?
I don't think Boeing has the
That's what that
capability
idiot
to
talks
make a good
about.
plane
After
these
viewing
days.
a thing where thousands of people are dead.
I'm sorry, I don't have a plane to give you.
I wish you did. I'd take it. I would take it. If your country offered the United States Air Force a plane, I would take it.
Okay. But coming back to this issue, which I really would like us to talk about, and talk about it very calmly. We were taught by Nelson Mandela that whenever there are problems, people need to sit down around a table and talk about them.
Well, there are
and this is precisely what we would also like to talk about, including, of course, trade matters, investment matters. So the issues that concern you as the United States.
Those are all recent. Those are all deaths.
Yeah, in many ways, I mean, one should say you are a partner of South Africa, and you are raising concerns, and these are concerns that we are willing to talk to you about. Let me just add quickly, you know, the criminality that we're experiencing in our country needs quite a lot of technological capability. And in one of our areas in South Africa, we're using US technology, which is able to, in many ways, identify where shootings are happening and all that. And I'd like to talk about that because there is support that we can get from you as the United States to help us deal with all these acts of criminality. And that is what I believe partnership is all about. And we are here as a partner so that we can help each other whenever there are challenges. So I'd like us to discuss it, and of course, outside of the media, so that we sit down. And
Outside of the media. I wonder why.
Are there any other punitive measures that could be in place should you not be satisfied that South Africa is fixing some of the very bad things in the comments that you tweeted are happening?
Well, there are a lot of bad things happening in many countries, but this in particular has been very, very bad, very bad. And because of we're going to have the whole world watching in another short period of time because you have the G20, and that's a big deal. And it seems like, yeah, I mean, I want you to look good. I don't want you to look bad.
Very good.
But we have hundreds of people, thousands of people trying to come into our country because they feel they're going to be killed and their land is going to be confiscated. And you do have laws that were passed that gives you the right to confiscate land for no payment. You can take away land for no payment.
I want to clarify that because we have a constitution. Our constitution guarantees and protects the sanctity of tenure of land ownership. And that constitution protects all.
Wait. We have a constitution here in America as well, the United States, that says that I have the freedom of speech. I don't think having a constitution that says something is that relevant when you know, the society doesn't actually, what are you doing, Roscoe? When the society doesn't actually like value or care.
With regard to land ownership. However, we do
all right,
say,
anyway, it's fine. We got the reaction. That was the funny part. That's what I wanted to see. So yes, that is whoever he is. Rafa, I can't pronounce his name. How do you say it? Ramaphosa. Don't quote me on how you pronounce this man's name. I don't know how you pronounce it. Okay, what are we gonna get into next? We're at the hour mark. We can do managerial socialism, or hold on, wait a minute. We can get more into black. You know what? I'm going to get more into black fatigue. This dude, because he's funny to me.
I'm tired all the time, and maybe it's first.
I'll follow him on Instagram. Him and the other guy. There's another dude who's sassy. Gosh, what's his name? I like him too. Omar? Is that his name? His name Omar? I don't know. It starts. I think it has an O. I like him a lot, and he's kind of similar. I like him too. No.
To talk about black fatigue, and I kept seeing these tweets going viral on Twitter where everybody was talking about black fatigue, and I'm like, what are they talking about? And I'm like, well, I'm black and I'm fatigued and I'm tired all the time, and maybe it's because I refuse to drink coffee too often, but my matcha gets the job done. So I thought it had to do with that, but it does not at all. So here's a video that is going viral that has everybody talking about black fatigue.
Who called a 5-year-old a racial slur? My first impression after watching the video, a little bit of white trash. I have to be honest, the kid was 5. I have worked with 5-year-olds for the last 15 years. Absolutely everything they do is out of pocket. They're like little unhinged drunk people. Nothing they do makes sense. A 5-year-old is capable of rifling through somebody's bag and taking things that don't belong to them. Ask any kindergarten teacher. But I realize why so many people are wanting to defend this, because black fatigue is real. I think society as a whole is there. We are just so unbelievably fed up with the ghetto ratchet behavior, entitlement, the victimhood, that they want to praise this woman. But what she did is not praiseworthy. But also on the same hand, please remember that every day that us white people get on this app, we get called racial slurs every single day. So if you don't want to be called a racial slur, you also have to stop calling people racial slurs. You can't talk out of both sides of your mouth. But for the love of God, please leave the children out of it. Adults are stupid. They're going to do stupid things. But you're a different level of stupid when you bring kids into it. Thanks for coming to my
So here she is talking about the hood rattery, quite literally.
The hood rattery.
If you didn't catch the full gist, what she's referring to, as we talked about like a week or so ago, where I reacted to Matt Walsh's reaction, is how there's this huge scandal going on where this woman called a young black kid the N-word with the hard R, and then people flocked to give her all this
I'm
money.
curious. Like, I know that people in my group get really upset when you use that word with the hard R, but I've never understood why. It's the same word. And it's just the word. It's just a word. I've been called a nigger before. And you know what I did? I just looked at him. I was like, why is he calling me that? I didn't get upset. I wasn't like, ho, 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 boo. Like, why? I was like, it was just like, it was kind of, it was funny to me in a sense, because it seemed like he expected it to do something to me. And it didn't. I was just like, why is he like, I'm like, okay. And then I didn't have the react, but my cousin, he had a reaction, and yeah, even then I was just like, what the hell are you doing? And he ended up jumping the fence and, you know, getting into a fight and got in trouble. And I'm just like, what the hell are you doing? And I'm just looking. I didn't even go up to the fence. I'm just looking. I'm like, these dumb motherfuckers. That's how.
And what a lot of it comes down to is there's this trend where there's a lot of videos going viral right now on Twitter with this trend of black fatigue, of people talking or like showing black people just doing the most, being hood rats, doing hood rattery, just being wildly rude and violent and all these different things, and people of other races standing up to them. And I get it. So the black fatigue is pretty much tired of this ghetto hood rattery culture, as you guys know I am.
Why?
You know,
why? I wish that we didn't call it black
term.
fatigue, because it's like it's too broad. Yeah, I mean, I get that it's offensive, but it's like, are you a child? You're gonna like, it's a word. If you don't like it and you're offended, then move on. It's okay to be offended, you know, like you can be offended and then just like move on. I do it all the time. It's not that hard. It's actually quite easy. But I guess it's not easy if you don't have emotional control and you don't have control over yourself. I guess it is hard at that point, but I can't relate.
All it is, you know, people are always going to put it that way to shock.
You don't know that.
Or to
I mean,
be more broad
you have no idea, bro.
With it, but it's like I have
people will come up and say whatever the hell they want to say. Hell, I'll do it just to prove you wrong. Tell me where you at. I'll show up just to be like, hey, well, you said nobody's gonna say it. Well, here I am to say what you said nobody's gonna say, and I am someone.
I have illegal immigrant fatigue. I'm tired of a lot of these people. And while I see a lot of people upset about this term and because it is being called black fatigue, at the same time, I get it. I get it. Because there is just so much audacity that has been coming from the black community ever since BLM. It's like BLM had black people so gassed up and audacious that
just like,
people just really started thinking
if someone says something that offends you,
like being
okay. Just like pretend that you are a human too, and that you are also capable of offending others. And also think about the fact that you probably have offended people. And maybe they didn't say anything. You know, that's maybe they're just more mature. And that's why you think that you're not an offensive person, but you could be an offensive person and not know it because you're around super mature people. Now, if you're around immature people, like maybe you will know very quickly because, you know, they can't handle their emotions, and, you know, maybe they're raised by a single mother, you know, and they're going to become emotional. And when men become emotional, it's normally in the form of violent aggression, not just reputational damage type aggression, which is normally what their mothers would do.
black became a crutch.
Bike down, ride my bike. Why would I ride my bike to Tampa, bro? I'm not riding my bike to Tampa. I have a car. I can fly there. There are planes. We have planes. Also, now that I know you live in Tampa, I wouldn't go there just to do that. Now that I know you live in Tampa, I would actually go there to visit my friend. She's a doctor. She lives in Tampa. She just started, a few months ago. So I would actually go to visit her. And then I would go and visit you to tell you that. Like, I'll drop off Roscoe so I can go travel, because she said that she can take him in June or July. I think she said July. So yeah, maybe in July I might come down there so I can give you what you want.
To get away with the worst possible behaviors and the rudest personality traits that any other demographic, if they did, that people would be absolutely disgusted by. And I stand behind the expression that I said before, how racism is laziness. I feel like when you are racist, it's because you are too lazy to analyze people for their individualistic characteristics, so you feel the need to just group everybody together. But even the most active, not lazy people in the world get tired. People get tired when they constantly see this kind of behavior coming from the black community at a disproportionate amount. So again, I get it, and I see how much worse it is becoming, and how toxic traits coming from the black community continue to be put on a pedestal, quite literally. Did y'all see the woman of width statue? Look at
the woman of width. Man, this dude is funny. I like this dude. The woman of width. This is my first video on YouTube I've ever seen of him. I've only seen his reels. Like every so often they'll pop up. Damn. The woman of width. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Woman of width. Okay, are we really doing this? The way I thought this was AI, I didn't talk about this for like a week because I swore up and down it wasn't real. I couldn't believe it. Okay, so we are now.
Damn, it's so embarrassing, bro. This dude say a big back. She is a big back though.
Black women, this woman of width, this is what we're idolizing.
You know, in the black community, we got BBCs and BBBs and BBLs. It's you know, we got all the B's over here. We got big back black women. We got big black C's. And we got them Brazilian butt lifts. That's what we known for in our community. It's a shame.
This is supposed to be representation and inclusivity. Some things need to be excluded, okay? We should not be idolizing fat black people. Like, what is the point of that? Even Al Sharpton went and lost weight because he knew it wasn't the way to live.
And now that dude looking like a scarecrow,
okay? So to
bobblehead looking
to make
ass.
a statue where we're telling little black girls, little obese black girls, hey, we see you obese black girls. We know that you can't push the plate away. We know that you're out here eating nothing but fried foods.
Damn, this dude is,
now you have
man,
a statue that represents
I think I love this dude, bro.
Not everything needs to
Hold
be a
on,
statue.
wait a minute. I gotta
Okay.
oh, I did
Dare
subscribe.
I say
Perfect.
this is more audacious than the that might be a stretch. I was gonna say the George Floyd statue. This might be worse, but no, I think the George Floyd statue still.
I don't know. I don't know. You would know more than me. I am only around professional, like academic type girls. I'm not even gonna lie. A lot of the stuff, like this ratchet behavior that I hear and see people talking about, I don't experience it because I am not in those environments anymore. So yeah, even though the women I deal with, they are generally, they went to a school like mine or one of the other Ivy League schools or I don't know, Berkeley or something like that. And they either are in tech or they're lawyers or like into like AI or bioengineering or doctors. That's it. I actually don't know any females who don't have those types of careers other than my mom and my sisters. That's it. That's a lot. And my family members, outside of my family members, I don't know any females who aren't upper middle class or above. I don't know. And I purposely avoid going to areas where I know it's going to be people like this. For instance, I haven't gone to Walmart in 15 or so years. I think the last time I went to Walmart, I wasn't single, and it was to get barbecue sauce. And the only reason why we went to Walmart is because they had just built a new one, and it was 5 minutes away. And the next closest store was much further than that. So it was like, all right, we'll just go to Walmart. And even then I was like, it was her idea. She said, we can go to Walmart. I'm like, I don't want to go to fucking Walmart. I don't think she understands because she's not black. And, I'm just like, I don't like that place. But yeah, it's the last time I went to Walmart. Is this Letitia James? Who is Letitia? I don't even know who that is. Letitia James? I don't know who that is. Wait. Yeah, Letitia. I don't know.
It was like peak disgusting.
I think this is whoever you want it to be. That's what the artist
This is
said.
just a random display celebrating obesity within the black community. And this is the type of things that I am exhausted of. This is black fatigue to me. Okay. And we've talked about before how people and their slavery diet, and they try to sit there and act like it's okay to justify why so many black women and black people are obese is because of the trauma of racism. It's like, no,
Bullshit.
You need to eat less.
Bullshit. It's not the trauma of racism. If it were, black women would have been fat as fuck during the most racist period of our time, and they weren't. They didn't get fat until after the 90s. Or in the 90s going forward. So it's like, what racism are we talking about? Is it the one? I mean, yes, there is some racism, but let's be real, it's not that bad. most black people, I don't know. Yeah, most black people, I guess, do live in the South. I live in the South too, in Texas. But again, maybe it's just me, right? Like I've had a white kid in the country call me a nigger, and I was just looking at it, I was like, okay, so maybe I'm just a special breed of nigger. I don't give a fuck. It's like, okay, yes, sure. All right, yeah. I understand what the word means. It comes from negro. That's what it comes from. But we had stupid farmers, and I'm not calling them stupid because they wanted to, denigrate us. I'm calling them stupid because they literally were that. They couldn't pronounce it right. And then they wanted some to try to, so they used nigger. So it's like, okay, yeah, you calling me black. Okay. I don't get upset when people call me black. So why would I get upset when they call me black in another language? It's like, okay. Doesn't make sense to me. I'm gonna quickly finish this What They Teach You at Harvard book. What They Teach You at Harvard book? I don't know. The only book that I know of that has those, like some of those words, is the business school one. What They Don't Teach You in Harvard Business School. That's the only book I know of that has some of those words that you listed. I've never heard of the What They Teach You at Harvard book. But Harvard, what people think of as Harvard is Harvard College. They should be very specific. There are 13 different colleges within Harvard University. So like, where, like, which school are we talking about in Harvard? I don't know. We gotta be specific. Are they talking about the undergrad school? Or are they talking about the law school, the medical school, the design architecture school? Like which school are we talking about here? Well, that is, yeah. And I can't imagine it. Actually, no, I can. That's a lie. Someone has changed my emotional state for the past 7-8 years. So it's possible, but it can only happen if you let it happen. And for me, unless you're someone important to me, it just won't happen. So like, for instance, my mom said that can change my emotional state, but that's because she's actually someone meaningful to me. Oh, it's biz. Okay, sorry, I was right. Gotcha.
You need to stop eating so much fried food. Shout out to black women, but in a special shout out to skinny black women, healthy black women. Mm-hmm. Stop making statues.
There are not that many of those.
Behavior.
There are not that many fit black women. 75%, 3 in 4 black women are fat. They're big backs. They're women of width. Oh, dude, hold on, wait. I have something. Will you get it? Just think about it. Women of width. Let me do it again. Like what? That's a woman of width. That's going to be my new sound effect whenever I see a big back. It's just going to be this. So we're going to have our first little inside joke now.
And this is the type of things that you need to stop eating so much fried food. Shout out to black women, but in a special shout out to skinny black women, healthy black women. Stop making statues of toxic behavior. Okay, George Floyd, toxic behavior. This woman, toxic behavior. Start putting statues up of people that actually should be looked up to. Okay, because the audacity is out of control. Like, do y'all remember this viral photo of this woman a while ago? Oh, this big backed woman who said that people owed her money to PayPal her. Woman. Do we have that? Yeah.
That ain't no big back woman. That's a big front woman. What are you talking about? This is a big front, big side woman of width.
Her hips alone take up half my screen.
This is crazy. Dude. All right, man. All right, this dude is too much. This man is too much. This man is too much. Oh my gosh. I need to meet this man in real life. I think we would quickly become friends. I've been working in corporate. I wasn't able to speak in these ways, so I've kind of tamed myself down, but I don't know. It might start happening. It might start coming back. The longer I go without a job, the more I reset to my default state.
All white people are racist. PayPal me. And y'all call me a grifter because I'm Uncle Tom's favorite nephew, and because I'm low-key a coon, y'all try to say that I'm a grifter. Oh no. Y'all have never seen me be like, oh, I'm black, so Venmo and PayPal me. Oh no, that is a grift. This woman, the only way I would PayPal that woman if it's for a tummy tuck. And the gag is that I wouldn't even do that.
This man, oh my gosh.
Treadmill and eat less.
I love this dude.
Okay, nobody owes you anything. White people don't owe you a single thing. This is tiresome. This is black fatigue. I hate to say it, but I get it. Okay, and we're constantly demanding more from white people.
Wait a minute. I know this is off topic as hell, but I just have to put this out here. The restaurant that I'm potentially about to order food from, tell me why some collard greens, rice, and cornbread is $15. Anyway, let's go.
While simultaneously bringing so many problems to white people. And I'm not condemning all of black people, because I shouldn't even say we, because it doesn't apply to me. It doesn't apply to most black people. But there are so many audacious black people that are so loud and saying all the things that are owed to them and that they're entitled to. Please, okay? Please get your life together. And stop expecting so much of other communities and thinking that your behavior you can just get away with. Shout out to my friend Emily Saves America. She's a friend of the show. I have been with her in person or like in public where we're going places, and it's like I will see random black women be so unbelievably rude to her and then smile at me. It's like the weirdest thing that I have ever seen, and this is what is bringing black fatigue.
So I'd never seen black women smile at me, but like the last stream I was saying how my ex would say that black women would look at her a certain kind of way, and I never noticed it. But she was like, they were like, it was really bad. And I will say that if that's one of the reasons that made it too much, then I will become one of those where I'm just like, F all of them. It's like, for whatever reason, they seem to think that if you date outside the race, or if you don't date outside the race, my bad. They seem to think that if you're dating outside the race, that they're taking the men away from them. But what they don't realize is that I wouldn't date them regardless. I'd just be single. Have they ever considered that, just like they don't need no man, like maybe I don't need no woman? And it's actually true. It's not me coping. It's actually the truth. I've done just fine since I moved out of my house at 17. In fact, I've done better than fine. So that tells me I probably don't need a woman. But I don't go around saying that because that's silly. That's stupid.
Okay. We need to stop supporting degenerate people in our community and paying dust to those who actually do things that are positive. Because like there's this guy, King Randall, Emerging King, I believe is his username. I love the work he's doing, where he is like teaching black youth, table manners and business skills and practical hands-on skills and all these different things. And I see the comments calling him corny.
No, this place ain't high quality. It's a black owned establishment where the food comes in styrofoam. I don't call that high quality. All of the other high quality places in the area, they don't give you stuff in styrofoam. They use biodegradable like paper, or sometimes they'll have biodegradable plastic. It's generally not styrofoam. Like honestly, most times if I see a restaurant that's using styrofoam for plates or cups, I don't eat there. Yes, I'm one that you might find out that I'm a little bit out there. I don't go to establishments that use certain things. I just see it as like, nah, I'm good.
You're calling him corny because he's pouring into black youth. Okay, I need to show you guys some videos of him eventually, of just like the amazing work that King Randall is doing with his school, just emerging these black kings. This is something that I love to see, people pouring into black youth in a positive way. But yet you have people online that want to say that his work is corny. Yet those same people are glorifying people like Carmelo Anthony, who I still am baffled by the amount of people in a tribalistic manner went and tried to support this guy. And it's again, and I clocked it from the beginning, that if white conservatives started going after Carmelo Anthony for being black rather than just being a degenerate teen, it was going to cause a backlash. But nevertheless, regardless of what led to what, two wrongs don't make a right. But what is dead wrong, as wrong as it possibly could be, is what Carmelo Anthony did. Okay.
Yeah.
And I will continue to be disgusted by
like that's what I was saying yesterday. At a certain point, we gotta rank bad things, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say that murder is the worst bad thing. You know, it ranks at the top by a wide margin. I don't even think it's a linear scale. I think it's exponential, where it's like it is exponentially worse than everything else. All right, so while we're on the topic of black fatigue, we're going to go to the other side. Yeah, Amir Odom. Okay, I remember there is no. Yeah, I like this dude too. I'm already subscribed
just to do
to him,
so when it's not. These people that we're talking about, myself, and I'm sure even yourself, are just tired of how black people are acting in the street. And on the flip side,
honestly, if y'all haven't heard of this guy, I would highly recommend you check him out. You go and subscribe. He's great.
but of course, we're going to talk about people who are not on board with this black fatigue thing. In this video, we're going to discuss just that, this rising trend of black fatigue, people who are supporting it, people who are against it, and everything in between. So if you like this kind of content, be sure to subscribe. And also, I am going on tour. So crazy to say, this fall, I'm coming to a city near you. All dates and ticket information is below and also at amirodom.com. Come meet me. I can't wait to be there in person, do Q&As, meet and greets, just chat about the world, politics, self-improvement, childhood trauma. There's so much we're gonna get into. I cannot wait. So more tour information is below. And without further ado, let's dive right into this video.
Black fatigue. This video might make you uncomfortable, but it needs to be made. There's a growing sentiment, most recently, of individuals who are proclaiming they do have black fatigue. And you don't have to be a non-black person to have black fatigue. What does that phrase actually mean? Essentially, black fatigue is a growing weariness of the actions of the quote-unquote black community. But it goes deeper than that, because we are in 2025 now, and we are being judged based on the content of our character,
which is what,
and not the color of our skin.
That's what I thought we wanted. Well, maybe not we. That's what Martin Luther King wanted, but you know, I guess he's no longer here. So, yeah.
The part is the lie that's been sold to the black community in particular is that the color of our skin dictates the content of our character. That's why in the black community, sometimes you'll hear people say, oh, you are acting white, when they're talking to someone like myself who doesn't act the way most people would expect a conventional black person to act.
Completely accurate. All my life growing up, I was always called an Oreo, talking white, acting white, just because I didn't fit into the confines of having a black person.
I've never been told that I act white or that I talk white or any of that thing. Which is, yeah. I've heard a lot of people, like, you know, other black people who have had that. And sometimes I'll do it just to make fun. I'm just like, it's funny to me. Like my doctor friend, you know, she used to get God on all the time because she listens to, like, I don't know whatever kind of shit that is. I don't know what it is. She likes that kind of stuff, and people would do it, or people would say that to her in Pearland of all places. That, like, what, you saying that in Pearland? But anyway, and when I found out, I started doing it because I'm that kind of person. I'm like, okay, like I'm a button pusher. I'm a habitual button pusher and line crosser. It's, you know.
And fitting in with black culture. Are there some things I resonate with? For sure. But just because I like rock music, just because I like riding my skateboard, just because
maybe. I don't know. I don't think it's, I think I'm just speaking properly, I suppose. But yeah, like I said, nobody ever told me that. So yeah, and I went to up until junior high, midway through sevens, I was at all black schools. So I was, you know, in the hood. And yeah, I never got Yeah, I didn't get bullied or anything. Nobody ever talked talk sideways to me or none of that kind of shit. I do remember being bigger than almost everyone at the school, because it was always odd to me. I was like, I know a lot of people looking outside the black community, they think that all of us are like really big and tall, but my experience is that most black people are really small. Like they're short, and well, at least the men are. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them are short and skinny, and like they're small. Did I just mute? I did. Okay.
Mean I hate myself or that I'm acting white. It's like you want to scream freedom, you want to scream equal rights, but you don't even allow your own community to have equal rights and freedom within their own personalities. Everything outside of the norm of black community is acting white, talking white, listening to white people music, eating white people food. It's like to a certain point you're tearing down yourself, and it's black fatigue. Like he also said, it's not just black people who are experiencing this, everybody. There's growing sentiment now of people saying enough. I'm completely tired of this narrative that black people are actually different in the United States. Are there some injustices out there? For sure that we need to be fighting, yes, but it's not as bad as people are out there making.
If you are 6 feet tall, you are taller than most people. Here we're gonna have to do a little bit of a height distribution males. So if you are 6 feet tall, I'm not about to do this math. I need you. All right, I need ChatGPT to do this. All right. What percentile? What percentile for 6 feet? There you go. 80 to 85th percentile. So you're taller than 8 out of 10 people. I would define that as most. A super majority even. So yeah, like yeah. I wasn't 6 feet tall when I was in elementary school though. And here you are. So I'm taller than basically 99% of people. And I'm also bigger than most people. And well, I guess not. We're in America after all. You know what I mean, hopefully.
Making it seem. Again, it goes back to the N-word video discussing how the priority list of what to be outraged about is not lining up. And we're constantly making ourselves viewed as the victim and we're oppressed, this, that, and the third. And everybody's just sick and tired of it. I think it's the same reason why when it comes to this 12-foot bronze, if you look at this picture, this is a 12-foot bronze statue in Times Square of a black woman with a smug face. Why do we need this? It says here, the statue features a plus-size black woman that aims to challenge traditional ideas of representation in public monuments according to Times Square website. Why? Why do we need this big black woman in Times Square?
You know what? I like the other guy's description better. I prefer that. I love it. I'm going to start using that.
Challenge.
Like you're a woman of width. Man, that's a good one. It's so descriptive too. You know, like at least I know the difference between like, height and like, width, but we also need to have depth. Like, oh yeah, you're a woman of depth. You can go around saying it as if it's a compliment, but in reality, it's a backhanded diss to be a woman of depth.
What? Like, why? I'm tired of it. Everybody's tired of it. When we take a look into what the left is saying versus the right, the left.
Let's just go on.
Good stuff. The woman at us for to you.
I'm curious. Does the live stream have ads on YouTube? Damn, this is a long ass ad. God dang. There we go.
People, but it's
voice of the news through a clear lens.
Black fatigue is real. Everybody is tired of black people, but it's two specific types of black people that everyone is tired of. Number one, everybody is tired of loud, ghetto, and ratchet, and violent, and mean, and
man, you know what? These zesties, bro, they out here. What's crazy is that black women love them. they try to make them their allies, and man, they out here just dogging them, and I'm here for it. I love it.
Angry all the time. Everybody is tired of them. Nobody wants to deal with them. Even other black people do not want to deal with these people. You know when you see them in public, you know when they're going to give you attitude at the CVS. Everybody knows it and they want to avoid it.
You already know. We already know who these people are. We've shown clips of them. It's the people you see on like Code Blue cam and like the security cam and body cam footage. It's majority always the black folk just acting a fool, looting, shooting, criming, you know, pew-pewing. You go to like the Miami. Oh, I'm sorry. I love Miami. I love me down some Brickell, some Wynwood. But taking to Miami Beach, no. It's too hood. It's too ghetto for me. I can't do it. I can't do the ratchetness. The ratchet behavior. That's who everyone's getting tired of.
Is this sort of like fake black bougie intelligentsia who kind of like walks around telling everybody how they're supposed to think or speak or act when it comes to anything black. These are the most privileged black people in the world. These people have built enormous platforms and have so much money, and yet they are still perpetual victims all the time.
This is a more so like Oprah and Michelle Obama.
I've noticed that too. Like, it's like, for instance, Michelle Obama talking about this. It's like, you were the first lady. What are you talking about? Like what are we doing here? There was an entire black family living in the White House for 8 years. What are we talking about? We have black senators. We have, and let's just get off of black. If you look at our Congress, yes, it is majority white. Okay, fine, whatever. The country's also majority white, so that white, it makes sense. But it's representative to an extent. Like, it's, you know, they're Mexican or Hispanic descent. They're, you know, African descent. I'm including me in that group. There's Asian descent. Pacific Islander descent, which is, you know, we can group that with Asia if you want. We have people of Middle Eastern descent or Levant, like we have people like, what? So racism exists, but for whatever reason, only one race experiences it. That's actually not true. I think everyone in our country does experience racism, including white people, including Hispanics, including Asians. But I'm of the opinion that, you know, if we're all experiencing racism from one another, then it's like, all right, well, shit, I guess it's equality, you know, seeing as we can't be decent people. All right, well, at least we're all racist, you know. I grew up in a black community, and I can say without hesitation that so many people of my complexion are insanely racist. And then they'll like try to like change up definitions to say, oh, well, no, I can't be racist because I'm not in the majority and I have no power, so therefore I'm not racist. It's like, okay, sure.
Obama on stage talking about the gripes of being a black woman. Now, I'm not gonna write off their history, their story, and how they were raised, because that was valid. They were born and raised in a time where these systemic things were actively in effect and against them. But they also rose through it. They also became millionaires, billionaires. They also became the American dream and showed that no matter what color skin you are, you can achieve anything you want to achieve. And all of us who are heavily melanated, we are our ancestors' dream, and we can achieve.
Let's take a step back. Let's think about something right quick. The Civil Rights Act. When was that passed? Was that 1964? Was that when the Civil Rights Act was passed? Civil Rights Act is 1964, right? Okay. So 1964 was about 50, 60? Wait, how old? What year is this? Oh shit, I'm old now. Okay. 60 years. 61 years. Oprah is, how old is Oprah? Let's see how Oprah age. She's 71 years. Okay, so Oprah was a kid when she was 10 or 11 when the Civil Rights Act was passed. After it's passed, she has become the richest, is she the richest woman in America? Or is she not? I don't know. I actually don't know. She's rich. I want to say she might be the richest woman in America. If not, she's one of the richest women in our country. And she got her rights in 1964. So somehow she was able, like from that period till now, she was able to become a multi-billionaire. And we're out here saying that, okay, all right. I guess I shouldn't say we because I'm not included in that group.
Achieve anything we put our mind to. And it's these same people that are, it's like the black elite leftists that still perpetrate this idea of we are victims. We still have a lot to fight for. And it's one thing to call out the past, but it's another to act like we're living in that. And we're actively not. I can't achieve anything I want to achieve. There's nothing a white person can do that I can as a black person. It's just, it's played out and it's fake, it's fraudulent. It's like,
all right, no, I had to kind of slightly disagree with that. I can't talk back to the police like they can. Like in this traffic stop, I can't treat the cops the way that some of my buddies of lighter complexion have talked and treated cops. I can't do it. In fact, sometimes when I'm in the car with people who are of a different race than me, I tell them, I'm like, yo, like, you know, just keep in mind that I am here. You know, that hasn't really gone away, really. So I still think about these things, but it could be, you know, that I'm, you know, from a different time. So I was raised a certain kind of way, and also I experienced certain things. So maybe that's why it still sticks with me. But yeah, I can't talk to the cops any kind of way. And maybe he can, I don't know.
The Mike Lamont Hill dude, talking about when we're talking about the N-word video and him going off on that tyrant of like, do not say that, yada, yada. Bro, that's so out of touch. That's so weak. It's just ill. It's fraudulent. This attitude and this snootiness of like, oh, yeah, black people have it so bad, even though you're clearly doing something and making a name for yourself. That's not true, and people are tired of it.
All they ever do is lecture white people about how to talk to or about black people, and then they lecture other black people if they don't talk or think or speak.
You know what that sounds like? That sounds like feminism to me. It almost seems as if the black community is more matriarchal because the fathers were taken out. That behavior. That's what it's. Yeah, that's a very feminine behavior.
In ways in which they approve.
Yeah.
Black fatigue is real. Everybody is so tired of both of these groups of black people that they don't know what to do.
It reminds me of
100%. I call them the rich blacks or the bougie, and I don't consider myself. I know there's let's say bouginess is a spectrum. You know, we got people who are just out there. They just all the way over. Just go as far as possible. That's what they are. I'm not out there. I'm bougie light. You know, I have some bougie attributes, but I'm not really truly bougie. Like those wealthy blacks, they are different. And I understand that I'm not one of them, and they make sure that I understand that I'm not one of them either. You know, because I don't come from where they come from. Even if I, you know, built up myself, it don't matter. That's one of the reasons why I know it's a class issue in our country. It's not race. Because if it were race, well, when I'm in Pebble Beach, you know, mixing it up with all these people who don't look like me, and at no point does it seem like I'm not welcome there. In fact, it seems like quite the opposite. That no one gives a shit about my race.
That one book, The White Fragility, the Ibram Kendi person.
Oh yeah, that dude Ibram Kendi.
What's the dude? Al Sharpton? Is that his name? Yeah, right. Al Sharpton. Yeah. I was getting him and Al Roker confused. Al Sharpton, those type of blacks, just get off the screen, please. We're over it.
Black fatigue is a thing. Newsflash. White people don't want to live around ratchet black people, And black people don't want to live around ratchet black people. I mean, it's nothing like going to the Walmart on a Sunday morning.
One of the reasons why I no longer like where I live and I'm not going to be staying here is that it has become more of that. We have those types of people moving into this building. Some, like, I don't know how they can even afford to live here, but they're selling drugs probably. But we have those people in our building, and we have more people coming to surrounding areas over here because there are more restaurants and stuff, and it's becoming just like unbearable. I really don't like it, so I'm just like, I can't be here anymore. This was a nice place, and then yeah.
And then you see the Bonnet Crew walk in.
The Bonnet
Loud,
Crew. The
obnoxious,
Bonnet Crew.
The kids are everywhere. In
I
every
know about
aisle,
the Bonnet Crew.
Unattended. And that's anywhere you go.
And it's so sad because I would
wait. He forgot he didn't describe them properly. I want to describe them more in full. They're the Bonnet Crew. Their uniform is some pajama pants, some fake Crocs, and a dusty ass t-shirt or a tank top. The Bonnet Crew.
Money, you watching this video right
now. Wait, or they're wearing the Cookie Monster those slides. You know, they're doing something like that, some type of slides. And they always got some type of attitude. They got those neck movements, you know, they do all that, and they do this bullshit. They got the talent on, all that dumb shit that they do.
Now, listening to me right now,
rolling their neck and
the
their
type
eyes,
of people that this man's talking about.
Smacking their
Whether
lips.
it be at Walmart, your local gym, the school, a university, it doesn't matter. We all know the type. It sounds horrible. Like the type of blacks that this guy's talking about, and no one wants to be around it. It's such a meme. My friend just moved into a community, and he's dealing with living around black, and he's black. He's dealing with living around other black people, and there's such like the stereotype, and it's so sad because it's like, why are we fulfilling? Like, stereotypes exist for a reason, and he's having all this trouble with black people on the street, and it's like, why? Why is that such a meme? Why is that so real?
What? They're highly emotional, highly sensitive. You can't say nothing.
Yes, they're
you can't even smile and hold the door for them because they'll look at you like you're crazy. And always the victim of something. Either you stepped on a shoe, you looked at them wrong, you told them good morning. They're never happy, they're never satisfied. And you wonder why normal, good black people move out of the hood as soon as they start getting successful. I was one of those black people that said, man, if I made some money, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to buy up this, buy up that.
Things too.
I'm going to support the community. As soon as I got my money, I got the fuck up out of there. Because they don't know how to appreciate good shit.
They don't. It's like,
that was me. When I was in high school, I was thinking I was going to go to college and, you know, I'm going to come back and like do all these things. And over time, I'm just like, man, fuck these people. I'm good. Not all of them, but you know, y'all know the ones. I'm just like, fuck them. I don't care. Like it's not my they're not my responsibility. I'm absolved of them.
throwing more money into a school system isn't going to fix the children. It's the culture, it's the parenting, it's the home. It's like, you can't bring a horse to water and make it drink. Like these black people, it's so deep rooted. It's so culturally relevant of needing to raise our children, needing to make active change within the community. And money isn't going to solve that, nor is pouring back into your community. Will it help some things? For sure. But even then, just because okay, for example, if you give a homeless person a nice house, are they going to automatically respect it? Are they going to take care of it? Or are they going to trash it? You know? So it's a fortunate truth.
My suburban kids don't need to be dealing with that bullshit. Crab in a barrel mentality. Never take accountability for nothing. So yeah, black fatigue is a thing. And I'll tell you, a lot of people are fucking tired. They're tired of dealing with these kind of people on a daily basis. I mean, I get anxiety when I walk inside of a mall nowadays. I mean, because you got these YNs running around.
I don't even go to malls. I've heard about the YNs from, you know, some of my friends. They go out and stuff and they were talking about YNs and I was like, what is that? I didn't even know what it was. And then they showed me pictures. So I was like, oh, okay, those, the dreadheads. That's what I call them. I didn't know they were called YNs now. You know, the dreadheads with the ski mask on, you know, what they just...
They don't respect nothing. So I don't care what anybody says. White America is tired of you, and we are too.
Yeah, I mean, this is a crazy video that I'm making right now. Like it sounds crazy on paper, but when you actively look into it and understand the nuance of like what's going on in America, not even just America, if you're European, let me know below if you're experiencing the same things, but there's a collective resentment against black people. Even back again to the N-word video of Shiloh Hendrix raising all that money. People are fed up. They're tired of it. They're tired. They are sick and tired of black people being the victim, but also being the perpetrators of some of the worst factions of our society. This isn't saying that white people are perfect. This isn't saying white people never do anything wrong, but it's always a oddly amount of majority black folks.
So there was this comment that I saw someone, they left, some girl, I may have already said this, but I'm gonna say it again. She said that she knows that it's not all of them, but it's always them. And you know what? I was just like, I can't say she's wrong. She made sure that it was understood that she knows that no, it's not all of them. She's aware of that, but it's always them.
Acting a fool wherever you go, and it's sad because no one wants to hate black people. I don't hate black people. I just dislike the black people that are actively making bad decisions against themselves and their own interests. It's like you think you'd make better decisions for yourself in order to
No, I have stronger feelings. I don't hate black people like in this, but I do hate those people. No, I don't like them. Maybe hate is too strong of a word. I'm not actually thinking about them in my off time. No, hate requires energy. It may be worse than hate. Like they're nothing to me. If something were to happen to them, I wouldn't care. And maybe that's worse than hate.
Advance in this world, get the money that you want to get the house that you want to get, buy all the nice things. You can do that, but you can do that from a right way. And playing the victim, you know, screaming and crying, acting ghetto, acting ratchet, that's not gonna get you the things you want to get. And if you want a clear example of this, really all you have to do is start watching those body cam videos, whether it be Cold Blue Cam, Midwest Safety, Daily Dose of Crime. That's all I watch, guys. It's so good. Oh, it's so juicy. But half the time, not even half the time, majority of the time when you see black people getting arrested, they're acting a fool instead of just like complying with the officer. They would be fine. And something that they always do in these videos is scream, "I can't breathe," which has been happening since George Floyd, but like clearly you can breathe. No one's even touching you. But I digress. It's just unfortunate.
If you
that
can
this
scream that, then yeah, you
Since
probably
everybody's
probably
talking
can't
about
breathe.
black fatigue right now, how black people are basically fatigued with the ghetto-ness that goes on in the black culture, I wanted to point out what my...
This is why I don't like the name black fatigue, because it puts us all in the same boat. Why can't we say ratchet fatigue or ghetto fatigue or whatever else? I don't know what they call themselves. You say it's like the culture fatigue. What I think that's what they call it. Like black fatigue is too broad because it lumps in groups of people who are only black in skin complexion. Even no one's black, but you know what I mean, dark, melanated. I'm including all the Africans, some of the Indians, the South Asians, they're dark too. Oh, perfect, my food is here. Yeah, like hood shit. Like I'm tired. Yeah, that. I'll be right back. My food is here, so I have to go get my food.
Black fatigue is, because I definitely have black fatigue. And no, that does not mean I'm tired of all black people. That does not mean that at all.
Right.
What it means is I'm tired of a select group of black people. I'm tired of the low accountability within the black culture. All right. So this is my black fatigue right here. This is where I'm tired. I'm tired of, very unpopular opinion, I'm tired of when people want to go out and protest and you know, lose their minds over these, you know, cops on brothers and stuff like that, which it should not happen. But I see zero care, zero concern when all of these brothers in Chicago is clearing out parks full of brothers in
This was my first realization when I went to a Black Lives Matter rally, because I was a firm believer, and I mean, obviously Black Lives Matter, my life matters. Yes, it is wrong that, you know, there are the rare cases that a black guy is shot down by or harmed or killed by a police officer. Yes. But why does it take that to happen for us to run to the streets, act a fool, burn down businesses, raise money for BLM, all the whole nine, but nothing happens?
I really hated when that was going on. And it was just allowed. That man, George Floyd, who was killed, is from here. I grew up not far from where he's from, 3rd Ward. In fact, I'm not that far from 3rd Ward. It's about a 7-minute drive from here. And I'm like, all these people are doing too much. I'm like, none of that's just called for. Destroying, looting, like none of that's just called for. None of these people did anything. What I mean by that is the business owners. The business owners didn't kill that man. You know, people who lived in the houses in those neighborhoods, they didn't kill that man. So why is it acceptable for all these people to like go and do all that stuff? And then, you know, all these other groups start to get involved, and, you know, as what happens, you know, if some kind of movement happens, and then, you know, it starts to kind of get stolen and go left sideways with the whole, what was that, in Seattle, Oregon or whatever, they had their own little, I don't know, it was a crazy time. And we still haven't addressed the issues that led to those things happening. So I can't put all of it at the feet of the actors. I need some of the blame goes to, I guess, our hell, how we run our country, like our leadership. They allow criminality to happen. There is no accountability. There's no punishments. It's almost as if we are in a lawless society, or we're becoming a lawless society.
Happened when we got the YN spraying up.
What else is new with them, bro?
Let's keep it a buck.
Like,
that is frustrating.
What else is new with them?
It's hypocrisy. You're
Everything is
and
misplaced.
crying in the streets over
what I mean by that
from a white man.
Pause. All of the anger is misplaced. Here's something, and I know it's gonna sound crazy. There is no white person in America that has ever owned a slave today. That was also the case 5 years ago. That was also the case 10 years ago. That was also the case 50 years ago. These people who they're calling all the, like these slave, all these decolonizers that, you know, it's like, well, let's be real. They're just like you and me. They were just born here. I was just born here. You know, that's it. I'm just born here. I just happen to be born black. No fault of my own. Just like all of the white people who are here in our country, they were just born here, and they just happened to be white. They had no say or control in the matter. But then we have certain groups of people in our community who are pissed off, and they're all about slavery. And I'm just like, I understand slavery probably better than most of them. Most of them don't truly study. And yeah, it was a terrible institution, and all kinds of bad things happened. And yes, there are some things, some traumatic things that linger to this day that, to be honest, it's going to take a lot more to fix. And, you know, who's to say how long you have? Because there's another group of people who were slaves over 2,000 years ago, and they're still talking about it. So I'm of the opinion that, you know, it was only been 400 years ago for us. So I'm like, you know, they can still be complaining about it, bitching and moaning 2,000 plus years later, then why can't we, you know? But yeah, we got some work to do, bro.
But none for a black man. If a white cop shot me, be hashtag Amir Odom. If the black community shoots me, it's just crickets. Why? That doesn't show other people that they should pour into us. If we're not even showing that we care about our own self, then why are we screaming in the streets that we matter when we don't act, again, like they matter? It is saddening.
I see no protest for that. Instead, I hear music about it. Each one of the names that lost their lives, I hear them in a song. And then you know what else I see?
T-shirts?
I see the brothers and sisters rapping that song
never mind.
in the clubs, yelling that song in their cars, talking about unaliving each other. That's what I'm tired of. I'm tired of the select outrage. I don't want to see a protest until we protest.
Bro, what he is describing is feminine behavior. The black community is incredibly feminized. Even the men. You can be a man and still be feminine, and that doesn't mean that you're effeminate. Like, that doesn't, like, you have feminine tendencies, and no, not all of them are, you know, sassy type. Stuff like inability to handle emotional stress. Acting out, you know, like throwing temper tantrums, except, you know, when a black man throws a temper tantrum, it's normally guns and fists. You know, it's a little more violent. Oh, you said Chris Rock has something like that? Yeah, it's an issue, but it's not just in the black community though. It's also with half of our population.
On black crime.
And bringing that up isn't deflecting. This is such a valuable point to be making right now. It's selective outrage. Why are we mad at one white person doing something to a black person, but never other black people doing anything? At that, we're promoting it by always listening and highlighting these music.
Most black people in this country are killed by other black people. And this isn't a new fact. This is something that I learned in the 90s. Where did I learn it? I read it in books and in newspaper. Like, it's there. It's there. The majority of black people in our country who are killed, well, first of all, they're men for the most part. But who's doing the killing? Black men. Who raised those black men? Single mothers. Where their daddy at? Well, maybe in jail, and there's a systemic reason for that one. I will give you that. But also, you know, there's also the divorce rate. Black women have the highest divorce rate.
Videos and the music and in the clubs. What are we doing here?
We can sit here and point the finger and say, yeah, but they made us listen to this music. They pushed this music in front of us. We can sit here and point the finger all we want.
You hear what he said, Cruz? He said they put the music in front of us. Now, you put some music in front of me, and do you think I'll listen to it?
But at what point in time do we say, no, we have control over our own culture? We turn the radio off. We hear that song, but like, nah, I don't listen to the new songs at all. That stuff pops up.
Same here. I've never heard it.
It's straight evil.
Yeah.
I'm only 29 years old. I'm not a YN. You know what I mean? I'm not unk yet. I'm probably right there in the middle.
Which, shout out, pause. I'm glad that man said that, because shout out to Jake, because he's one of my editors. He helps me put together these videos and surprise me with these TikToks. He be calling me unk, and I'm not unk. I am big bro, if anything. I know I'm not a YN, but I'm not unk either. I'm right in the middle, and it's big bro. I'm 29. I'm not unk. Thank you very much, Jake. Anyways.
And yes, yeah, they're pushing this to us, but we're listening to it.
No.
That's the thing. We're engaging with it. These execs, they understand whatever they're engaging with is what we're gonna push. So if we didn't engage, if we didn't show it no love, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna change the narrative.
And it's clear, to that man's point, when black people...
That wasn't the point that I'm making. The point that I'm making is that we as individuals we have a lot of control over what we listen to. We have agency. Just because someone put something in front of you doesn't mean that you have to consume it. Like there's McDonald's and Chick-fil-A and Whataburger, Burger King, Jack in the Box. All of those things are around. That doesn't mean that I have to eat there. That's the point that I was trying to make. Not really like your Kanye West stuff. That's all I'm saying.
Rally together, we get things done. Obviously, a community of this size, whether it be like a community getting together, it's clear it can make waves, make different changes in the culture, make something trending, make this dance this, whatever it may be. Imagine if we took that energy to apply to our own community to help advance the good ideas that come from it. Instead of bullying someone for acting white, instead of promoting all this harmful music, instead of being selective outrage and being mad at this, but not being mad at the laundry list of 100 other things that are way more worth being mad at. What would happen if we actually pay attention to these things that are actively harming the Black community and made changes to be better? Because we have the power, we have our own individual freedom to make the choices that we want for our own lives. We don't have to be a victim. We can get rid of this victim mentality and realize, wow, I am responsible for my life. I can take power. I can make these decisions. We all have that within us, but at what point are we going to activate that and do it? Because if we don't, we're just more people just be getting tired of Black folk, and I don't blame them. A lot of people don't. I'm glad there's a lot of Black people stepping into the plate making these videos and talking like this, because it's not self-hatred. It's not like I want the best for the Black community. It doesn't make sense. It's frustrating being profiled. It's frustrating being viewed as like, oh my God, she's Black. I wonder what's gonna happen. And yeah, those things are frustrating, but at the same time, it's like, damn, how are we acting in the streets? At some point, we got to take our own responsibility and make the changes for ourselves.
And in all honesty,
I got to put something out there. If I'm walking down the street and there's a group of Black people, I have walked to the other side, depending on the makeup of that group. If it's only young Black boys, I don't really deal with them. If they're a little bit older, I'll keep going. I'll say my what's up. If it's a mixed group, men and women, I'll stay on. But if it's just a bunch of young, thug-looking dudes, nah, I'm good.
I hate serving Black people. I hate serving Black people. I'm sorry, I hate it. I be trying to defend y'all. It's really it's not even a hit or miss at this point. It's like you just have to have good luck, for real.
Bro, she's tired. She's tired. I feel it. I used to be a server at Buffalo Wild Wings, and it was so real. I'll never forget, because I started as a host, and then I went to serve. And I'll never forget, like, even the white and the Black servers would come up to me like, Mir, don't sit me with them. Don't sit me with that Black family. Don't sit me with this Black person. And I've always thought to myself, why not? Until I became a server. And the worst tables.
Wait a minute. Is that common sense? Because I hear that that's racist when they're like, oh, white people do that's racist. It's like, is it? Okay. Do they think that they're only going to the other side because of your race and not because of the way you are presenting yourself? Maybe. I don't want to get robbed again. You got robbed? Man, I'm sorry. At 14? Yeah, man, that's got to be tough. It's got to be a traumatic experience. I've never been robbed. I normally don't have anything of value on me anyway. It's like if you attempted to rob me, you would get maybe my phone, which would become useless to you very quickly. I guess you would get my wallet, which it's not a cheap wallet, but it's not that valuable to me. And you would get all of my credit cards, which you wouldn't be able to use. So, and even if you did, like, the credit card company reimburses me. That's it. I don't keep a debit card on me. Honestly, my Amex, it won't even go through unless I approve it for certain purchases. So it's like you would get nothing.
To sit the worst people.
Oh, Nikes, yeah. So yeah, they would get some Croc flip flops or some toe shoes. The nicest shoes that I normally wear out all the time are my Adidas Terex free runners. My trail runners. And I gotta show them to you because I gotta cop a new pair anyways. Mine are getting a little bit old. Adidas is technically, I think that's how you pronounce it the real way. All right, let me show y'all these shoes. I get them when the soles on those wear out, which is after maybe 300 miles, 350, 400 miles or so. I walk a lot. Let's see here. You know what? We'll just do Terex. It's easier to find it that way. And shoes. These are my favorite shoes. Oh shit, they're on sale right now. Hell, I might have to get them right now. Not on stream, obviously. Yeah, so these are the shoes. I don't like this site where it's following my mouse. These are the default shoes that I wear. 90% of the time when I wear shoes, most of the time I'm not wearing shoes. I'm wearing flip-flops, my little croc dongs, or I'm wearing my toe shoes. That's what I wear most of the time. But if I had to go somewhere and like, you know, if it's wet outside, I'm wearing my Terry. I'm wearing these right here. Every now and again, I will wear some of my other shoes. I have some leathers, you know, some nice leather dress shoes, that type of stuff. Yeah, I have a lot of. I don't have a lot, but I have some Balenciaga shit, like shoes, and I'll wear that every now and again. But I don't. I like these shoes right here, and I always get the same color. I've gotten 3 generations of these shoes, always in the same color, black. And I'm very proud of this fact. Every single pair of these shoes that I've had, except for my white ones, which were meant to just be kind of lifestyle, and I wore them once and then never wore them again. These are meant to be traveled with, like, because they're waterproof. You can walk through rivers, your feet won't get wet. You know, you can walk through, you know, field. It's that type of shoe. It's like a hiking shoe, but it's not ugly. I love these things, bro, and it's a point of pride that I'm like, every time I get a pair of these, I take them to at least 10 countries. At least. The current pair that I have only been to 7. I have a few more to go to. I made the mistake of deciding to go to a couple of countries more than once, so that's why. But when I have a rule generally. I don't like to go back to the same country more than once. But there are some countries where I'm just like, all right, fuck that rule. I'm going back. So Singapore is one of those. Japan's one of those. Nigeria is technically not one of those, but I have been to Nigeria like 3 times. So I guess it is now. I want to go back to Egypt, but that's only because I didn't go to Alexandria or Luxor or the Red Sea. So I got to go back for that. And I guess Dubai. I've been to Dubai a few times, so never mind. Those are the ones that I've been to multiple times. And I would go to Peru again. I would go to Peru. That's a dope place. I love Peru.
To wait was always black people. It's so sad. It sounds horrible to say, but it's my personal experience. It's her personal experience. A lot of servers out there can attest to this. I'm tired of serving black people. It's unfortunate because we fought so hard to be served equally with other people. But now we're to the point where how we act. We don't want, like, the servers don't even want to serve you. You act a mess. You act ratchet. You make a mess of everything. You don't pay attention to your kids. You don't tip at all. You're rude, you're needy, everything's cold, portions aren't too big. Like, and even growing up for me, I hated going, like, as I got older, I hated going out to eat with my mother because she always would either send food back or would want to leave, go to a different restaurant, or complain about this.
Man, I wonder when the women gonna come in here with that shaming. Yo, mama black. How many of y'all got that? I had that happen to me once, and I was just like, I was so confused. Some bright ass yellow girl. We have a lot of those types of blacks here in America, in Texas, for what it's worth. We call them yellow bones. Maybe y'all call them that over where y'all at too. But I had some girl, she was trying to sell her the CD or whatever, and I was like, I don't listen to rap. And she's like, oh, you support it anyway. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I don't, for what? And she was like, ain't your mama black? I was like, I mean, yeah, but what I gotta do with you? Technically, my mom's race is black, but if I showed you my mom's skin complexion, you would not be like, oh yeah, that's a black woman. I'm gonna find it off on the side right quick. I'm not gonna actually show y'all my mom. I'm not gonna do that, but, oh, well. All right, I'm gonna play this while I look for
send a dish back, this, that, and the third. Was always unhappy, making mean faces. It's like, why? Why the attitude? It's embarrassing at this point.
Because as soon as you ask for plastic utensils and strawberry lemonade, oh, I know I'm getting like $3.
Lemonade.
I already know I'm getting like $3. It's so bad. Especially the women, the older women, I just never, I'm not gonna say I never have good experiences, but like, it's not likely. Like literally, for example, I had this couple, but her man wasn't black, her man was like Asian or something, right? Girl, immediately she had an attitude. It's time for them to cash out. He comes up to the register. She goes outside or whatever. He's giving me his card. She's watching us outside of the window, y'all, like a hawk. Bitch, I don't want Ricky Tan. Respect.
Her voice, it just screams just like, I'm sick and tired of these black folks. A lot of servers are, a lot of people are. Let me know in the comments below if you're a server and you feel the same way or you've seen the same thing where like, again, I'm also not saying white people haven't acted bad either. There's white people who don't tip. No. If we're just looking at the trends of different races and how some people act in restaurants, listen, I got my experience growing up and then also got my experience of being a server, being on both sides of the aisle. A little while and servers sharing their opinion, y'all in the comments below, it is excessive.
You know what's weird? You using the term created by a black woman to be racist and complain about black people.
Wait, a black woman created a term?
And you're using it incorrectly.
Really? I doubt it.
And then you're yelling, we don't need your permission to use it. Nobody said you needed anybody's permission. At least use the word correctly.
Okay, to this lady's point, I have seen kind of like, I guess, the original black fatigue, and that was this exhaustion of being black in America, being tired of existing in this racist, white supremacist society that's always against you. I have seen that as like the OG black fatigue, but now it's been flipped to no, it's literally black fatigue, tired of black people, instead of tired of being black, because in reality, one has more weight than the other. There's no reason for you to like really hate your skin color and be tired of being black in America. You're not a victim of anything. You're literally a doctor. Come on now. Whereas there is a true tide of black people because of the things that we see in the society, on all the crimes, the lootings, the robbings, the shootings. We can go on and on. That's the real black fatigue. This one that we're talking about in this.
I wouldn't have bought it. I'm not even gonna lie. First of all, if I buy a CD, how am I gonna listen to it? I don't have anything that can play a CD in my house or in my car or on my motorcycle. I don't have a CD drive anywhere. If I bought it on record, which would just be just to buy it on record, that doesn't mean I'm gonna listen to it. It's just gonna go with all the other records that I have just as a collection. If I'm assuming he had it on tape too, I don't have a tape player, so it's not, I couldn't play it. Are you surprised that I don't have a CD player anywhere? Not even in my car?
Video, that's the real one. Not so much the original statement, but I will give her credit in that, like, yeah, it low-key has been flipped.
While also trying to steal everything we fucking do. Cut it out. Black exhaustion, or what is it? Black,
you don't even know the word.
You're not using it like you think you're supposed to be using it. You're not,
All right, well, this is unrelated. My mom is brighter than her. Much brighter than her. Just to give you an idea. So like, she's like, ain't your mama black? It's like, you see her, you see something, you're like, oh, are y'all black? Man, if I showed y'all what my niece looks like, hold on, maybe I can show that. I can show you my niece. It was recently too. My baby brother's newest daughter. Just so y'all can get an idea of the amount of variation I have in my family. What's up with this sort order here on my Lightroom thing? All right, let me see if I can find it. Okay, yeah, here's a good picture because it's not really showing anyone's face. All right, there we go. Oh, wait. Oh. Sorry. I'm working with one hand here. It's a little hard. This right here. See that? That's my niece. This my brother. This my other brother. They're both dark as fuck because they play football, but they were not always dark. They were like, you see these light, high yellow people back there? They were closer to that. And that's not even in the sunlight, bro. This woman right here, like, it's no, we're bright over here.
The cognitive.
Do I have any game consoles? I have an Xbox that isn't plugged in. It's in my entertainment center over there, but you can't see. Let me switch my camera scene right quick to something. So see that over there? Like, you can't really see it, but that where my TV sitting on top of it. I have an Xbox in there, but it's not connected at all. The reason why is because I have my M1 Ultra Max Studio in there, and I was like, that's more valuable and more important to me, and I want to be able to use that. So, so yes, I have an Xbox. It's not even connected to the TV. I only have 4 HDMI inputs on that TV. So one thing has to go, and I'm just like, it's gonna be the thing that I haven't turned on in 2.5, maybe 3 years. Like every now and again, I'll turn it on, and it'll have updates, and I'll just be like, I can't, and then I'll turn it off and go back to doing something more productive. That's been my Xbox experience since I bought it. I realized that I don't like the new versions of consoles because it's always updates, and I don't want it. So I don't play it.
Dissonance that y'all have, that y'all constantly display, is astounding, and it needs to be studied. Because how are you using a term to be racist? Like you're literally proving the point of the term, why it was originally created.
Low key, yeah. Like, because black folk are tired of being called racist, tired of being called a problem, this, that, and the third, and tired of being viewed as wrong in society. But it's because it's reality. I don't know how else to put it. Like, it's not even about being racist. It's not racist to look at data. It's not racist to look at trends. It's not racist to see, why is Walmart and Target and
First of all, he's wrong. It is racist. It's racist to add. It's racist to subtract. It's racist to add multiple times in a row. We call it multiplication. It's racist to subtract multiple times in a row. We call that division. It's racist to know what the fuck a fraction is. It's racist to know what a ratio is. It's racist to be able to take a derivative. It's racist to be able to take the integral. It's racist to do partial derivative. It's massive racist. It was said on the TV, so it must be true.
Walgreens shutting down all their stores in the hood. That's not racist. That's just like actual data there to show blacks don't know how to act. I'm so sorry. Like that. I'm just being honest. I really am. I'm trying to be real, transparent. It's like, that's why this whole video is a thing now. This real black fatigue that people are feeling. They're tired of not being able to call it out. Like how
he is zesty. We are watching the zesties right now. I like this. I like him a lot. And then there's the other guy before him that I think I like him even more. That dude is, man. My mouth was puckering with the zest, bro. He's the guy that came up with the woman of width. That dude was cooking. Holy shit. That man was cooking.
how I am, and I'm trying to do it in the most respectful way possible, because and some people don't believe that, but it's like, I genuinely do not hate myself. I don't hate being black.
Yes, calculus is racist, algebra is racist, geometry is racist, trigonometry is racist, category theory is racist. What else is racist? Abstract, well, I guess that's technically part of algebra, but most people don't know this. Abstract algebra is racist. Statistics are racist. Probability is racist. Reality is racist. The air you breathe is racist. Everything is racist.
Back in America, I love my existence. I love who I am. I wouldn't change it for the world, but it is tiring being viewed a certain way because most black people don't know how to act. So yeah, there are people still against this idea of black fatigue, and they're mad that the name has kind of been changed, but it's, I don't know, what can you do?
White people have co-opted the word.
I don't know who James Charles is, but I have friends who are gay. I don't really care. I even have some that are, you know, they a little zesty, and I'm like, I don't care. Like, actually one of them, I think this when I got my first 911. I had a 991.2 GTS, and he was working concierge. He was a concierge here in the building. The dude helped me move from my other place. Like he offered to help, get stuff, and we ended up becoming friends after like I don't know, like 8 or 9 months of me living here. He was an always nosy kind of person, so I was like, all right, whatever. I'll talk to him. Cause I see him every day, multiple times. Well, anyway, we became really good friends, and when I got my 911. He was just like, oh my gosh, I've never been in one like him. Like, so I was like, yeah, let's go roll. And then before we got in the car, he's like, William, I gotta tell you something. He's like, I get queasy. I'm like, why the fuck do you want to get in the car with me? You know how I am. And then he's like, I just gotta tell you. And then he's just like, all right. Dude ended up throwing up, bro. Not in my car. He told me to pull over. He was just like, wait, stop. He's like, I need to throw up. And this dude got out and throw up. Anyway, fast forward a couple of years later, maybe 3 years later, we ended up going to meet up for tea. He wasn't working here anymore, but we kept in touch. He wanted to link up for something, so we ended up getting tea. And for whatever reason, we were talking about something, and then he felt the need to tell me. He's like, "Well, you know I'm gay, right?" I'm like, bro, everybody here knows you're gay. What the fuck are you saying? He's like, I just had to make sure. He's like, because he's like, normally like black people don't treat me. I was like, I don't care about. I told him, I'm like, you know, I'm not gay, right? He's like, yeah, I know. I'm like, well, then why the fuck are you? I don't give a fuck. It's like, leave me out of it. That's how I am. I'm like, you can do whatever weird shit you want to do, so long as it's not with me.
For black fatigue to mask racism and say racist and prejudice tropes about us.
You can't pause. You can't sit here and ignore all the black people talking about black fatigue. It's not just white people using an excuse to be racist. No, there's actual black people talking about this too.
I figured I'd make a video to describe my white fatigue, my white malaise, my white exhaustion. FYP shows you what you're looking for. So if you were saying you're opening TikTok.
Like, this black man is tired of white people. I'm curious, who does he think made all of this shit around him? It ain't us. All his designer that he's probably wearing, those are white people, buddy. That TV, it ain't really white people. It was invented by them and then created, like produced by some basically white adjacent people, you know. We call them Asian, but in my mind, there is not much of a difference. It's interesting. Wearing this shirt, we all know good and well ain't no black person made this shirt.
And all you're seeing is brawls and fights of black people. Look within, because why are you?
You seem to misunderstand what a 991.2 GTS is. 911. You also seem to misunderstand who I used to be. I used to be different than I am now. See, you've had the opportunity of discovering me at the age of 35. When I was 28, 29, I was a much different person. Honestly, when I was in my early 20s, I was a completely different person. Same as when, like, from teenage years, like, I was a completely different person. Now, I used to be a little more violent when I was a kid. That may be why none of them ever said that I act or talk white. I don't know, but I used to be sort of a problem child somewhat. At least, I don't know, maybe my mom thought that. I don't know. But I got expelled from like 2 or 3 schools for getting in fights and shit. Like, I used to be different, you know. And fortunately, I had people around me who were just like, you can't be doing those things. And, you know, they recognized that even though I was doing all this dumb shit, I was still smart as fuck. So yeah, I had people, because of that, you know, they wanted to make sure that I got on the right path. You know, my teachers, my grandpa's boss. Yeah, my grandpa's boss and his family. You know, they were around. My uncles, uncles. I'm sorry, my other uncles. Yeah, my uncles. Like, my grandpa was a big one. I had a lot of people to help kind of make sure that I didn't become one of them.
Searching for us. Why are you monitoring us? You guys have the biggest monitoring spirits of life. If you're so tired of us, just leave us alone. I'm tired of white criminals. White people commit 70% of the crimes and arrests in this country. No such thing as black on black crime. You guys created that to continue to paint us as savage.
Yeah, white people.
What did this man just say? Did he just say that white people created black on black crime? He must have grew up in a single parent household. That's the most stupid shit I've ever heard. White people created black on black crime? Is that what we going with today? Okay.
People make up majority of this country, and they make up majority of the crimes.
Yeah, they make up about 60, 70%.
Types of crime, if we look at the
Violent
top
crime
3 worst
is us.
crimes, it's disproportionately people who look like me and you, sir. That's why I hate polls and I hate numbers. It's like everything can be twisted. But if you look at things with nuance and for what they are, they show different metrics and signs. And what you see is, you know, a good majority of people who like me and you make up the top 3 worst crimes out there. And I don't want to say them because of YouTube, but like, just think of the worst 3 things you can do to somebody, and that's what.
We know what they are, right? R, M, and T. Or selling drugs. Which some of the drugs that are sold, I think they should be decriminalized. And I hope that marijuana, weed, is decriminalized. And all of the black men who are in prison on weed possession charges, I hope that they are released. Because that's something that I don't think that, you know, we should be putting people in prison for something that grows out of the earth naturally on its own. You know, that's one area where I'll say it's like for the prison population, for those who are in there for drugs, like for weed, and it's predominantly black. I think that's a problem. You know, so many people do weed. It's insane. Where it's like, why do we have? I know why we have it. It's so we can keep our slavery in our country. But it's like we need to get that shit in order.
Most black people do. It's just it's the harsh truth. And when you're looking at all these videos online, yeah, you can be constantly be fed these things. The same way back in I was on the left, I was fed more videos of black people interacting with the police. However, like, you don't see white people acting a fool as much as you see black people, even if you're going out there to hunt for it. Yeah, there are the occasional videos of white people acting a fool in Walmart or in McDonald's, but like, don't act like it's majority, not us.
Just meanwhile, you guys are the ones committing.
No, you're not wrong, but cigarettes aren't illegal. Tobacco, so like let marijuana be legal. Or keep it illegal, but why do we need to put people in prison for it? In our country, we I don't know why, but we just seem to be so willing, or we just want to put people in prison for long periods of time. It's just like, why? It doesn't help anyone. It's a negative drag on the society. For one, who pays? Well, that's part of the reason. That's why I say it's the slavery, but it's also the private prisons. They make a lot of money for filling the prisons up. I don't think we should have privatized prisons. I think they should be publicly run, and it should just be public. Remove that privatized prison shit. Because I mean, even though they're private, it's our tax money that's paying for these criminals, for their livelihood, and while they're in jail. I don't want to be paying for them. I'd rather only put the people who deserve to be there in there, the ones who can be rehabilitated, and for anyone else, like for instance, murderers and stuff, it's like we don't need them in the society. Just get rid of them. Just get rid of them. Take them out back.
All the crime. I'm tired of kids not being safe in school because people are being shot by white boys and girls in school. I'm tired of mass shootings.
I'm tired of black kids not even able to go to the park in their local community.
I'm curious though, how many black kids have been killed by white kids doing mass shootings? It seems to me that most mass shootings happen in all white schools, and it attacks mostly white people. some Asian, small amount, maybe a few Hispanics, but it's mostly other white people. In fact, most crimes, violent crimes, are committed like they're interracial, or so they're within your own race. I meant to say intra, but I have food, obviously.
Why are we pointing the finger at, you know, a rare school shooting when there's a shooting every weekend, sir, in our own neighborhoods, in our own towns, and in our own communities?
Chicago,
we're supposed to be uplifting, right?
In public places. I'm tired of bombers blowing up races, blowing up buildings. White people killing people. I'm tired of white serial killers. I'm tired of you guys praising white serial killers and then glorifying them by making movies and TV shows. White men committing crime and not going to jail. Stealing money from people's grandparents and stealing money from citizens, and then you give them more and more. I'm tired of you guys causing the conditions for people not to be developed around the world or undeveloped and then label them as third world countries, second.
I'm tired of black folk just not.
What's the probability that this man has actually traveled around the world? He may have his mind blown. If you think that America is, bruh. America in a lot of ways is fucking backwards. Some of these countries that you consider poor third world, man. I don't know. This is why it's important to travel, but most Americans don't do it. Which is why we have a reputation abroad for being idiots. And I'm not just saying that facetiously. Americans have a reputation, a lot of them have a reputation for being stupid or idiots. Not all of them. So we have some good, some good things in our reputation too. We're known for being incredibly nice, and like pleasant to work with, and generous. We're known for a lot of things, but one of the big things we're known for is being arrogant and stupid.
Keeping it real. I'm tired of black folk always pointing a finger at white folk instead of looking within. I'm tired of black folk talking about, oh, why don't you quit bombing buildings? Sir, be so for real. Look in the community. Look who is the biggest perpetrator against other black people right now. Little black children can't even go to a park.
I'm tired of being exposed to food that's been seasoned with air and imagination.
He's not lying. My mom, she's like, I can't go to the park. So yeah, he's right. But it sounds like he's about to say something stupid.
Little black children can't even go to a park.
I'm tired of being exposed to food that's been seasoned with air and imagination because these cows and chickens didn't have to die for no reason. I'm tired of...
Okay. Man, this is the perfect freeze frame. I didn't do that on purpose. I want to put that out there. I didn't pause it right here, but that's the perfect expression. It's just like, what the fuck are you saying?
Parents not minding their own business, and then when confronted about the business they didn't mind, then they have white tears, which then cause harm to white bodies, which then predicates police brutality, which you guys are the ones that perpetrate.
He must not.
I'm about to crash.
He must not have met a black cop.
I can't.
Trying to show out.
I can't.
Power tripping.
What is this man talking about? I'm just at a loss for words.
Tired of the fact that your grandparents and your great-grandparents caused the conditions for black people to live in ghettos, black people not to own homes, black people not to have access to education, access to funds and programs, and then blame us for living in the ghetto and then blame...
I'm in a home I bought.
Wait. Hold on. Did he just say, I could go and get... I don't feel like it. I have a degree. It's in there. It's in my little... Because it's not that important. It's in there. I have a degree. I have went to some of the best schools in the world. 2 of them, in fact. It didn't feel like I didn't have access to that. It seemed like I was able to get in just fine. I look around, I say that it's becoming ratchet in my area, but let's be real, that's people coming to my area to all of the things, and they go back to where the hell they're from. I don't live in the hood. I live in the richest zip code in Houston. Interesting. So apparently it's white people's fault that apparently my life is so bad. You know, I agree. I agree. My life is bad. You know, forced to go sleep on a $15,000 bed every day. It's so bad. What would I do? I need these white people to stop oppressing me. I need a $50,000 bed, I guess. I don't know. What the fuck is this man talking about? It's people like him that make me upset. Like, real talk. And I hate to say this because it's like I don't really got hate against the zesties, but he seems like he kind of zesty.
I know a lot of black people are in homes they bought. I know a lot of black people who work, make something for themselves.
Yeah, I have a job. Yeah.
Millionaires, billionaires.
I'm broke.
They work. You have to work in this country. Are there horrible things that were done to black people back in the day? Yes. We are not living in that day. We are an answer to the dream. We can accomplish literally anything little Timmy or Daniel can do around the corner.
He is right. I think so many people have just lost touch. I am very grateful that I knew both of my great grandmothers. I also am very grateful that I knew most of my grandparents. And they were, you know, they're older. They were born around the Great Depression, around that time. So they lived through it. And I learned that my grandpa used to make 5 cents a day. He used to tell me this when I was growing up, when I would, you know, just complain about stuff. And he's like, he'd always tell me, boy, you guys so good. And I used to make 5 cents a day, my grandfather. What year is this? 80, 90 years? I can't even do math right now because that would be racist. But however many years we fast forward, his grandson was like, I mean, unfortunately, and this still haunts me to this day, but he died a year before I became a multimillionaire. And sometimes I still blame myself for not getting there faster because, like, I went to college because my grandmother, she graduated valedictorian, but she couldn't go to college because she was born at the wrong time. So I went for that. It was kind of like, you know, I'm doing that. My grandfather had to drop out 8th grade so he can go work on a fucking plantation, picking cotton. And then we have idiots like this man saying that, like, what the fuck are you saying? We've made so much progress in this country. It's not even funny. In fact, this country today is unrecognizable from where we were just 30 years ago. Just look at all these big backs walking around. There weren't that many big backs walking around. Man, I don't know, man. I think we're cooked.
There's nothing stopping us from doing anything we want to do. I'm so tired of this narrative.
Blame us for the violence that we are subject to and then blame us for the conditions that we live in.
The violence that we're subjected to. Jamal coming out.
They probably edited that shit.
What violence are we subjected to that's not on our own? And now there's an excuse for why we act like this? Because woo! It's our fault. Not our fault. It's white people's fault why black people are acting like savages in 2025 and shooting up and harming themselves.
Wow. Story after story of teachers having inappropriate relationships with their teenage students. Tired of the white hoods and KKK and the neo-Nazis, some which just got attacked in Ohio because they felt entitled to be openly racist. Really confused and tired about those rock concerts where you guys go ahead and beat each other up, but we're savages? Very savage, uncouth, ghetto behavior. Beating each other up for fun at concerts?
This man is not comparing a mosh pit. At least, how about this? I'll give that to you. Can't white people act rowdy after a game?
He's right. He's talking about those, like, I guess they're called mosh pits. They're listening to that rock and roll. But the thing about it is that it's self-contained and there are no black people there. It's them alone. This man is not tired of that because he's never seen those things. He's only seen videos of those things from people who posted. It's never affected his life, because let's be real, the only way that's going to affect your life is if you pay to pay for a ticket to go to one of those shows. And let's be real, you go into one of those shows to do that. Like, it's not affecting you. Meanwhile, with what we got going on, it's like we got my people calling everyone racist. They're offended by everything. They're making big deals out of molehills. It's that. And it's not just white people. He's only talking about white people. He's like, well, I got white fatigue. But what he's conveniently not realizing is that it's not just white people. It's Asians, it's Indians, it's Hispanics. It's pretty much every ethnicity in this country. It's basically the country. That's one thing that I think that I think this country is united in that fact that we hate ghetto and ratchet ass black people. I think that that's one idea that this country can be united behind. And if that makes me Uncle Tom, I don't give a fuck. That shit only works on certain types of blacks, I guess. I don't give a fuck.
And they go ride in the streets, yeah. Can they mosh at a concert? Yeah. But if you want to look at a mosh pit and you want to get a ride in the streets after a game, it's all out of fun. It's all in celebration. When you look at black people in Chicago looting all these businesses, Louis Vuitton, Apple, Lulu, that's not for fun. You see black people shutting down every black club because it always gets shot up. That's not for fun.
Opioid crisis. I'm tired of white middle-class men who are criminals, who all they care about is the bottom line, and they willingly put drugs into the system which kill kids and which kill college students. Wow. I'm tired of seeing overweight people in my 600-pound life not doing anything with themselves and living off the government.
What the?
White people make up majority of the country, therefore there's a larger
What are
amount
these
of
examples?
white people who are on welfare. But when you look into like the amount of like our population of whites versus black versus who's actually on welfare, what you'll see is that there's more black people on welfare compared to our total population. Both statements are true. There are more white people on welfare and there are more black people on welfare. It's just a matter of what that more is. In totality, there are more white people receiving a check on numbers wise, yes. But per the population, there are more black people that are dependent on it. And best believe I have a video coming out soon talking about EBT cards and all the food stamps and it being used and taken advantage of. So much more to come. But this man, he done pissed me off because
honestly, I don't know. I know a lot of black men who are like this. As I said, I have gay friends. I have lesbian friends too. I've had trans coworkers that I had to work directly with, and I'm just like, I don't give a shit. Like, I'm one of those, like, I don't really care about a lot of things. It just so long as you don't make me participate in it. You know, that's kind of how I am. I'm like, I'm very much a live and let live. I'm what, you know what it is? I'm an American. Technically, I'm a Texan, but you know what I mean. Texan first. I actually don't claim America. I'm like, they're like, where are you from? I'm from Texas. Fuck. Oh, you're American? No, I'm Texan. And they actually go like, oh yeah, he's Texan. I'm like, yeah, fuck, not American. What are you talking about?
I'm so tired of black folk
but for y'all, I'll be American
all the
for y'all,
time
so
and not taking any personal responsibility
since y'all
and
not
making all
Texan.
these false equivalencies just to further, I don't know, this like black pride. Woe is me. I'm a black. I can't. This needs to go. Why do I do this to myself? Niggas like this piss me off.
Oh, he forgot to edit it.
They really do.
Sometimes you gotta let one slip out.
Before I read this, racists are more outraged by our response to their extreme behaviors than by racism itself. I'm gonna read that again. Racists are more outraged by our response to their extreme behaviors than racism itself. What is our response? Is there a response to act ghetto, to act ratchet, to act a fool, to loot, shoot, crime, murder? Is that our response that you're talking about? Now they're coining terms black fatigue to deflect from the truth and combat our justified outrages. As if speaking out in defense of a child is something to be ashamed of. I guess this is referring to one of the cases. They want to be racist without being labeled as one. They gaslight, project, and they play the victim while accusing us of doing the same.
Wait, who is us? Cause I'm proud to be called a racist. If that's, I don't give a shit. I'll wear it as a badge of honor. I'll go get a shirt printed and put it. I'm a racist. I don't give a fuck. Labels don't mean shit to people who are actually that type of person. That shit don't mean anything. You gonna call me a name, okay? But like, this dude is kind of stupid. He seems like one of those. Not the one on the right, but the dude on the left. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Our justified outrage. Okay, you can be outraged, but that doesn't mean that you have to be an asshole everywhere. You know? Here's a fun fact. I have been very angry for about 8 or 9 years. You don't see me going out doing a bunch of shit. In fact, people love being around me. I have learned how to make sure that I don't let things like that affect me out in public. I can be pissed off as long as I want, as much as I want, here at home. That don't mean that I have to go out and like make everyone else's life miserable. You know?
It's ironic because I would say look in the mirror, and this man is in the mirror. They gaslight, project, and they play the victim while accusing us of doing the same.
This man is looking at his phone.
That's black folk in a nutshell. Talking about
he's
using
a narcissist.
The black fatigue to defect from the truth and combat our justified outrages. We ain't got no justified outrages. Look at everything wrong in this society. Not completely.
I do have to give some nuance here. There is a gap in our community. We do have to be honest about that. You know, for everyone who makes it out like me, I would say maybe 80% of them never do. So, you know, it could be part of that. I had to give some grace because, you know, I feel like I should, I guess. All right, let's go forward.
But when we look at the most heinous acts and the things people are tired of, the ghetto-ness, the ratchetness, just the ugh, it's typically us acting a fool in these streets, and none of it's justified. No. Oh my gosh. I can't. Something ticks me. Something really just pisses me off about people not owning responsibility for themselves and blaming and giving tribute to someone's wild actions.
You know what that sounds like? I'm gonna keep saying it. It sounds like the opposite of me. Just think about it. I don't mean like me, but like me. I'm a full-grown man. The opposite of me. They also do that thing, which is why I say like our community is very feminized, and it's because who raises us? It's the single mothers.
Just because of our
they're raising
something that happens when
male,
you're not outraged by something
male
else.
women.
Again, like the other black dude said in the beginning, you mad at somebody saying the N-word, you're mad at this one white cop, but you're silent on our own selves. You're silent on the black community. You're silent in the street. You're silent on every damn thing that affects this community, and you only want to speak up when you can play the victim, or you're like, oh well, this is our response to their extreme behaviors, this, that, and the third. We're going to the next
Wait, hold on. This is for you, Casual, since you brought up your last comment. I have to point this out here because...
But you're silent on our own selves. You're silent on the black community. You're silent in the street.
Come on,
you're silent on every damn thing that affects this community. And you only want to speak up when you can play the victim, or you're like, oh, well, this is our response to their extreme behaviors, this, that, and the third.
Right there. The hands. Wait. I can't do it, bro. Why can't they do like, I've noticed that though. How come all of them can do their hands like that? Why can't I do my hands like that? Like you can curve, his finger is curved back. That's weird. How do you do that? I'm over here trying to do it. Making gay sounds. My shit don't bend like that, bro. That's funny to me. All right, let's go.
We're going to the next video.
Bro, if Amir happens to see this, bro, I love you.
Has now since deleted her video talking about black fatigue and how she and the rest of society are so
Wait, what the hell is that? It's like a button. If I click it, it plays the video if you click it.
The entitlement, the victimhood, her words, not mine. Couple of things. One, black fatigue is a real thing, but it's not what that lady was saying. Black fatigue is the emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by the daily stress of living under systemic racism and its consequences. So the black community has black fatigue due to the oppression they've lived under in this country since its inception.
Take your white ass on somewhere, this white savior, Captain Save a Whole complex somewhere else, because literally you have it so twisted that what the black community thinks is, listen, you want to care about black voices, you want to promote black voices, listen to...
You know, I'm glad that we can use the word fat again. You remember a few years ago when you couldn't say the word fat? You had to say I'm plus size or whatever they were saying. I don't know. I forgot. I've already reverted back to calling them fat or big backs. But you remember that we couldn't say those words. We had to call them something else, and it was only reserved for the women. You could be a fat man, but you could never be a fat woman. No, you're plus size. Plus 150 pounds, you fat bitch.
All voices, okay? Are there some people that are saying, black people saying, yes, this is the problem, this is so bad, the real black fatigue is what matters, I do feel like a victim in society? Yes, it does. But you're not doing this nation a service by not highlighting and talking about the sheer amount of black people. You just look up the term black fatigue, it's mainly black people on TikTok and Instagram talking about how tired they are of other black people. So as a white woman, maybe do your research and look into all sides of what black people are talking about, even if it makes you pissed off. Then it's serious about, well, the black community faces this, and that. Shut your ass up.
I've never been oppressed in my life. The idea that someone who is beneath me in every way can oppress me is hilarious. It is quite hilarious that some of these people think that, like, I'm not sorry to say this, but I don't see myself as like a victim to anyone. I'm not a victim. I don't know how else to say it. You know, I'm not oppressed. Good luck trying to oppress me. I'm not the type who you can hold back. That's never been my demeanor. So like this idea of oppression, it's like, what are you talking about? What? You know, one of the world's most famous Americans, Frederick Douglass, who was alive during slavery, somehow he managed to get to where he was, and that was during slavery. So maybe it's the case that the cream rises to the top and they don't have to deal with some of the bullshit that a lot of other people have to deal with. Maybe it's that.
Never ceases to amaze me how little most white people...
Wait, did you just say caloric challenged individuals? No, they're not calorie challenged, bro. It's the exact opposite of challenged. Try again. They're not challenged for calories. They ain't challenged.
People are willing to look at the true history of this nation and understand that while they personally may not have owned slaves or lynched black people or used black babies as alligator bait or conducted experiments.
I've never done any of those things. I've never done a single thing. I've never owned slaves. I've never fed babies to alligators as bait. I never lynched people. I never did any of those things. And I'm right here sitting in my nice little place saying that I'm tired of these people. And if I'm saying it, that should imply, that should be a strong indicator that maybe, just maybe, it's not really a race thing. You know what? Those people hate themselves. That's how much they're disliked. They dislike themselves. They hate themselves so much. They make music about killing each other. You know, they pull and tear one another down. That's how much they hate each other. If they hate each other, why the hell do I need to like them? Fuck that. If you hate yourself, I hate you too. How about that?
On black people or operated on black women without pain medicine because they didn't think black women could feel pain.
Bro, Cruz just came in with the I'm not fat, I'm big bones. Hold on, I'm sorry. I gotta do it. I gotta pull this up. It's funny to me. It's a meme. I'm not fat, I'm big boned meme. I do want to say that I have high bone density. I'm not lying. My DEXA scan, I'm 5 standard deviations above the mean. So that's 5 sigma in bone density. At the clinic, right down the street, they're like, you have the highest bone density we have seen in our clinic's history. And then I made it, cause I can be kind of charming sometimes, you know, I got jokes. And then I told the lady, I was like, so I am big boned, and we had a good laugh. But yeah, this is the thing that I want to show. Is it gonna let me show it? Come on now. Where's it? Wait, what? It just still my history? Yeah, it did. Okay, let's look at this one. Maybe it'll actually take it to me. Take it there. We'll go to Reddit. How about that? See? I'm not fat. I'm big boned. There was a meme when I was in college, and it had a fat woman. It was like an x-ray, and you can see her bones, and she's like, I'm not fat, I'm big boned, and the bones was just tiny. Big bones.
Society and systems that made those things possible. Racism is deeply rooted in this country from the beginning. We stole this land from the indigenous Native Americans. We brought black people to this.
I had to pause it too. We're both pausing at this. Man, look at his facial expression. I didn't do that on purpose. You want to know something crazy? It's that the people who these white folks consider, like her, who they consider the indigenous people, they were not indigenous to this continent. They also came from somewhere else, and I wonder if they happened to conquer who was here before them. Let's see where they came from. In fact, we're gonna go do some math. Let's do some geography since Casual has zest fatigue. I'm gonna give you a little break right quick, bro. There's this thing over here. There was this thing called the Bering Land Strait. Well, what is that? Well, you see here this Bering Sea. This is Asia. You know, this is Asia right here. Just so we're clear. This is Asia. This is North America. Hundreds, lots of years ago, there was this strait. You see it here? You know, this land bridge. The people from Central and East Asia, from this region, Mongolia and all that, they migrated up this way, came through here. Some of them settled in Alaska, and you know they stayed there. They're called the Inuit, the Eskimos, which is, if you actually see them in person, you will swear that they're Asian. And if you go to certain parts of Asia, you'll see people in Asia who look Indian, and you'll see teepees, and you'll see those whatever the things. Those are in Taiwan. Just for fun fact. You know, the things that we normally think of. I forgot the name that you call them. The totem poles. The totem poles. Totem poles are here. Those people are not indigenous to here. They migrated here, just like the people in Europe migrated here. African, at some point in our history, Africans did migrate here, but in a certain point, we didn't migrate here. You know the story. Y'all know the story. But yeah, all these indigenous people that they're talking about, they migrated over through here from North America and made their way south and all the way down here. And in certain parts of here, we had people from the Pacific Islands who, that's their livelihood, who managed to make landfall over here. None of these people are from here. In fact, if you understand our history and you accept, what we know so far, we all originated from this region right in here. Like right in this little region, Africa, Middle East, Levant, like this little region. And if you understand the geography here and what's there, you would understand why this could be considered the cradle of civilization. In fact, Sumer was here in this region. Babylon here in this region. All that biblical shit that they talk about, that happens all in this region, the Levant, as well as just right over here, just all here. All that to say is, this lady talking about the indigenous population, they're no more indigenous than I am to this country. And I guess at this point I am indigenous. I guess. As far as I know, we've been here since the beginning. I know damn sure my ancestors were here before America was created. So in that sense, I am indigenous. My ancestry goes back before the country existed.
I'm about to throw this chair.
Look, he's doing it again.
So much to unpack.
How do you bend your hands
stolen
backwards?
land? No, it's conquered. Okay, there's such thing as conquering land. Okay, the land that I'm on right now is mine. It's my property, my land. Okay, I don't care who was in the past. We've all been everywhere in the past. People talking about it's the indigenous lands. Girl, they were fighting each other for land. It's just conquering. It's not stolen. It's not. It was taken. It was conquered. Like this is mine now. I don't know what else to tell you. I really don't. Bringing up all the history and all the harmful things that have been done to Black culture and the Black community, yes, but damn it, I'll be 30 years old this year. 30 years old, and I've not once have been approached or had an opportunity out there that I wasn't able to get because of the color of my skin. When that's not, I can't say the same thing for my grandparents. I can't say the same thing for my great-grandparents.
So one thing that I know about him is that his grandfather is still alive and still in his life. And that may be why he has this perspective. It's that if you have someone who was here before, this modern world that we have, they'll make it very clear that, nah, bro, like today is not like it was in the past. And I had that. Also, I'm older than him. I was born in the 80s. So I'm closer to, when that was going on. So it's like most of my family, who like my uncles and all that, they were around during those times, like the 70s, 80s. That's when they were coming to age. All of my grandparents, my great aunts, great uncles and all that, they were around during the Great Depression. And they're quick to be like, no, this is much better. Like, what the hell? What are you talking about?
We are in a different America, so let's appreciate that, relish in that, and take advantage of that instead of playing the victim and want to cry about every damn thing that happened to our great-great-grandpappy.
We ripped their family.
It's not your great-great. For him, it would be his great-great-great. Great. Potentially great again, because the slaves didn't have long lifespans. Most of them died before the age of 50. So yeah, it would probably be great before he gets a slave. For me, my great grandmother, I believe her mother was one. Was a slave, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to go and confirm. So, in that sense, I'm not that far from it. And I know that slavery was ended after the Civil War, but it's important to understand that not everywhere. You know that thing called Juneteenth, that holiday that all these other Americans didn't even know about, that they now claim to celebrate, and that, like, that's a Texas holiday. Why is that? Well, it's when we found out here, like, that it was for sure that the slaves were free. If it's not clear, I'm from Texas, and so is the rest of my family. Just in case that's not clear.
Families apart. We have maligned, maimed, and misused the black community.
Well, that's what Juneteenth is for, by the way. I don't know why the whole country celebrates it. It honestly is kind of disrespectful.
Ship arrived on the shores of the United States. Do you understand how hard the fight has been to get even a semblance of equality in this country? And now...
What?
And yet here we are. We're all equal now. And now she's... Yes, it's been hard, and now we're going the opposite direction. Right. Perfect.
What equality? What don't I have? Tell me, what don't I have? What equality am I lacking? Am I striving for that I just do not have in this country in 2025?
What little progress we've made is being undone by this administration.
Progress.
Trump in this administration has made people like that woman and the many racist commenters on that post.
You're not gonna talk about all the black people that agree? You just gonna ignore?
This woman said, "What little progress we've made." Huh. Oh, interesting. I have heard stories from my family members, the older ones, the older ones, like great, like that, about things that happen to their family members. Things like lynching. You want to know what's crazy? If it's a small amount of progress that I've never seen a lynching in my life, yet I have people in my life, well, they're no longer here, but they were here when I was younger, who did witness that. That's a small change. That's little progress. Interesting. You know, my grandmother couldn't drink out of the same water fountain as white people. When I go to the gym or anywhere, I don't see any signs that says coloreds only. That's not that long ago. My grandparents experienced that. And their grandson was able to do things that neither of them were able to do. Like I said, my grandmother graduated valedictorian of her class. She couldn't go to college. I didn't graduate valedictorian of my class. I was just top 5%. And I got to go to college. And you want to know something else? The government paid for half of it. Not student loans, in the form of grants. Our racist ass government. They pay for it. Maybe they thought I was white. I don't know. Maybe they were like, oh yeah, his name is William Shepard. Oh yeah, that's a white man. Yeah, we're gonna give him his money. Yeah, maybe that's what happened. Somehow I was able to get a degree in computer science, and I don't think that would have been possible in the past. I know that computer science is a relatively new field in the 50s, but my grandparents were around in the 50s, and I don't think they had the opportunity to even know or even get into that field of computer science. These people are just dumb. I have very little respect for this is why I don't respect most people. This lady is dumb.
Feel comfortable to speak so publicly about their racist views and feelings. Because, spoiler alert, nothing will happen to them. Black people are questioned about everything they do, even if they're just walking down the street. Until this country as a whole accepts responsibility for how we were designed and built.
This woman is just full of it. Here's a fun fact about my life. I did kind of allude to how I walk a lot. I walk a minimum of 4 or 5 miles a day out there on those streets. At no point in the 8 years that I have been living here, no, not 8 years, I'm sorry, 7 years that I've been living here, Has anyone ever came and questioned me like, why are you walking down the street? That's never happened. You want to know what has happened? I'm walking down the street and my neighbors are out and they're like, hey, William, it's nice to see you today. How are you? How's Roscoe? I've had that happen. I have that happen a lot. When I'm in the neighborhood, I have had I'm walking and then the security comes up and he's just checking. He's like, hey, I see you're out here. Are you okay tonight? Yeah, I'm good. He sees me all the time. It's like, sometimes we have conversations. How are you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. What have you been up to? At no point maybe that is a racist question. Maybe. I don't know. And I know I'm black because I can't even see myself at night when I'm walking in the neighborhood. There are no lights. It's dark. That's why I walk down there.
This country will never see true equality.
This country will never see true equality.
Not if you say it. Not
as
if you say
people like you exist, perpetrating this narrative that I can't amount to anything or I can't achieve anything or that I'm fighting through so many horrible things in this society just based off the sheer color of my damn skin, when that is not the case in 2025. It was for my grand.
I think people like this, they do this because it kind of puts them in a position where they're above everyone else. This idea that you're saving others, you only have that when you have this impression that you're better than others. It's kind of like the females in our country, saying that certain men who go abroad to go find a girlfriend or a wife or whatever, how they're taking advantage of these women and all these other kind of things. It's like they're putting themselves in a superior position, and it's like they're basically talking down. It's condescending, actually. They're like belittling these other groups of people and saying, oh, they're so helpless. They don't know anything. They're not educated. They're dumb. It's just like, meanwhile, if you actually go there, you'll realize that these women are much smarter than the women here. Much, 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 much smarter. Here's how I know this. When I was going to my nice little Ivy League schools, I didn't see a lot of black women or a lot of white women. I mean, there were some, obviously there are more white women than black women. I saw a lot of Asian women and a lot of Middle Eastern women. I saw a lot of Nigerian. Like I said, they're fucking smart. They're hardworking people. A lot of people from Africa are hardworking, like seriously. Like for real. Incredibly hardworking.
My grandfather, it was for his father, but not for me. I am, again, broken record here. My ancestors dream and can achieve and have achieved everything that they could only fathom of. Everything. And to sit here and say with a bold face that there's so much that I have to fight for, there's so much wrong and injustices that are against me as a black man in America, and I have it so bad, blows my...
This is the same kind of woman that would say that having voter ID laws is racist because black people don't have IDs or they don't know how to get one. A lot of them think that's actually racism right there. We have governors in our country who think that black people don't know what the fuck a computer is. Just let that sink in. We have a governor of a state that thinks that black people don't know what a computer is. Racism does still exist.
Fucking mind. It does. It really does. Well, that's black fatigue.
All right, there you go.
I have black fatigue.
I'm sorry,
now.
Casual. I know, you got zesty fatigue, but we got through it. We got through it together. And I'm gonna be honest, bro. You're gonna be seeing a lot more of Respectfully Xavier, bro. This dude is, man, I love this dude, bro. Like, I thought Amir was dope. I like Amir too. But man, Respectfully Xavier, man. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get enough. I'm probably gonna just start binge watching this dude's stuff. I don't even care what he's talking about. Just he's funny as hell. All right. Should we do one more thing? Or should we call it a night? We're at 3:19, so I'm happy to do one more if y'all want to do one more, or we call it a night, and maybe I'll be back tomorrow. Maybe. What's up? What we gonna do? And if y'all do want to do another video, you like, make sure you tell me which one it is. While y'all think about it, I'm gonna read. So we got employers are laying off good employees at the worst time. Let's talk about South African refugees. Man, I kind of want to watch this, bro. I kind of want to watch it. One more. All right, cool. All right, all right. I won't watch this casual, but I think you should watch the VOD so you can see the first one that I watched, and I think that you'll understand why I'm like, man, this dude is, man, I love this dude. Okay, so given that we're only gonna do one more, I'm gonna do a relatively short one. We can do this one. Bring back begging. Women are upset that men don't try anymore. South African? Nah. Casual says that he has some fatigue. So, I don't want to do that. For what it's worth, this is one of the benefits of being a consistent person who shows up. Like, I start to know who you are, and if you have preferences, I'll make sure I keep you in mind. All right, so we're going to do this one. We'll do this one tomorrow if I'm here, Cruz. This leftist versus South African refugees. So just remind me if you're around tomorrow.
Bring back begging. Bring back begging. Single modern women are upset that men don't try anymore. That men aren't the thirsty, simpish dogs they've always been. Yes, of course, obviously men they still have thirst, obviously, but they're not the simping dogs they once were.
Replicant Fish is,
well, you know what's actually sad?
He's one of my favorite people.
Exist.
I don't really care what he's talking about. It's just I like his edits. Maybe it's superficial, but he's funny as hell. Like, the timing is just dope, bro.
Where a lot more men were simping and there was a higher quality of simp. Women had a better quality of simp to pick and choose from, didn't she? It's gone now, isn't it?
Bring back men who beg.
Did he slow that down? Because this person sounds like a man. Why does this woman sound chopped and screwed?
Why?
Bring back men who beg. I'll go
Okay, she's singing Don't Leave by Blackstreet. It's a classic song. What, some 20 plus years ago this would have been a jam? Of course, obviously. Like I said, a lot more men were simping back then. It wasn't even a sense of simping, it was more a sense of men wouldn't be afraid to show that, yeah, I don't mind chasing. Please. In modern times, modern day, no. So even though a lot of women understand men are still chasing, they can also see and feel the quality isn't there anymore.
I wasn't expecting that.
Desperation for
It's like they abused the power they had so much, they never thought it would ever leave. It would ever go. I hope you're focused and on your square.
God don't beg on the track no more.
Who is gonna beg for that?
No, of course men don't beg on the track anymore.
They're already begging for you.
Instead you have weekends singing about up chicks. Yeah, up celebrity chick, just doing some freaky business.
Yeah, that's what I'm
represent
saying.
a lot of modern day.
She sound like a tenor, bro. Like, what the hell?
Doesn't it? Drugs and freaky business.
Spicy.
No commitment. Like, why? That's boring. That's lame, isn't it? No, it's just freaky business nowadays. That's what's fun and thrilling. You can't sing about "Don't Leave Me, Girl" nowadays. Please. Why? But what's another song about drunk, highly liberated and promiscuous modern woman? Oh, she likes to get lit and done. Yeah, let's go.
Do you see what I mean? Like, this dude's editing. Like, I love his style. Like, I may try to replicate it just to learn. I wouldn't actually take it because, like, there's only one him. But man, I love his editing style. It's dope.
Never. Obviously, I'm going to have to adjust the sound in some mad way. I'm not even sure what I'm going to do yet to obviously avoid getting a strike. But I mean, come on. Men don't sing like this anymore. This is still a good song, but you're sort of saying it to yourself, aren't you? Don't leave your peace and freedom for a dizzy broad who may ruin your life and drag you and bring you down.
To this day!
Yeah, it's not worth it anymore, is it? Beg? The comment section to this video were absolutely amazing. It was tons of men saying why. They're asking why.
I'm curious, do y'all also do that? Like, on Instagram Reels, do you go to the comment section? Because low key, that's mostly what I'm there for. I'm there for the comments. Some of these comments on these Reels be wild as fuck. I get more from the comment section than I get from anything on Instagram at this point. The comment section is why I continue to go back to Instagram. We need to have a site or an app, or maybe I should have a show called the comment section. What do y'all think about that? Should I like start to grow and like, you know, really put some more production effort into this and create a show? Cause I'll do that. Like that seemed, and I already have the name, the comment section. I like that. Does it already exist? Oh, you go to the comments? Yeah. It's like half the reason. It's like, yeah, I'm sending you this reel, but I'm expecting you to go to the comment section. Like, fuck the comment. Just go to the comment section. All right. Well, given that y'all doing the comments, how about let's do a pilot of a new show. Let's try this out. Start sharing some of the Instagram reels that you're looking at. Just throw them in the what do you call that? The Discord. And there's a way, I know if you have an iPhone, you can do it directly from Instagram. You just click the little share button and just tap Discord, and it may be a longer process. It's probably faster to just copy the link. Do that for now. And what I may do is, well, no, never mind. If you follow me, how about that? If you follow me, just, man, I'm probably going to regret this. I don't really, fair warning, I'm really bad when it comes to Instagram, you know? There are like 4 people I talk to, and then after that, yeah. But start sending me reels. Actually, pick. Either put it in the Discord, or you can like, you know, share it with me. But only good ones. Like, you know, have some like, no. Try to filter it a little bit yourself first, right? Like, help me with the curation. Eventually what I'll do, especially if things start to take off a little bit more, what I can do is, you know, we just have a bunch of them, and then we can curate a list of things that should go in the show. And obviously, if we were to do stuff like that, I would make sure that I make y'all mods, and then like we can figure out some way to like make sure that if I do end up popping off, that, you know, y'all are, you know, like part of the crew essentially, and y'all can get paid too. All right. So like if I'm going up, I'm not gonna just go up alone. All right. So you don't gotta worry about that. I realize how lonely that shit is. You know, having a lot of money and you just only you. It's like, yo, let's go to this random ass island out in the middle of the Indian Ocean. And it's like, when? Tomorrow. I can't. Yeah. So, you know, be better if I had some people I can bring along. That would be dope.
Why? Indeed, why? Beg for what?
No, don't send me big booty. I don't care. Nah. Yeah, don't do that. Send things that are funny. You know, that I can talk shit about. Not that shit. I don't want to see that.
The lovely modern woman.
This is for you.
They still look good, of
Cruz,
course.
I don't want to see that.
Begging for the irony. Sadly, a man singing this too hard to a woman that doesn't want him, key emphasis a woman that doesn't want him, yeah, that's simping too hard. Emphasis again on a woman who doesn't want him, because it's not about caring for a woman who actually wants you. That's not what simp is. A lot of people have no idea what simp is, but yeah, simp is not a man.
Wasn't the lyrics for that song, "Don't Leave Me, Girl, Stay With Me Tonight"? So that, wasn't that a song about just smashing?
Wants him, no. But singing this to a woman who don't want you, it's like this woman's leaving and you're trying to sing, "Don't leave."
Most of the reels that I get are sent to me by my friends, and maybe about 30% of them I actually click on. Every so often, like, you know, I'll go on like a little bit of a 2-minute like doom scroll, and then I'll catch myself, and then I'm done. I'm like, fuck this, and I'll go do something else. But I like fight reels, not like street fights, but like you know, fighting, like boxing, Muay Thai, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu. Like, that's the kind of stuff that if I'm going to watch a reel, it's going to be that. Or it's going to be the, you know, little funny, cute stuff, like, you know, little dogs doing something crazy, or some little kids doing something crazy. It's that type of stuff. And that one guy, I forgot his name, whoever he was, the first guy who I looked at. You know, he pops up every now and again, but yeah, my stuff is mostly that. I don't really have anything, maybe motorcycle stuff here and there. Actually, a lot of car stuff. That's a lot. I have a lot of car stuff, but that's because a lot of my friends are really into cars. Like, seriously.
Girl, please stay with me. No, that's
That edit
simp
slap.
moves. A man has better things to do than simp for a woman, doesn't he? What? Get money, work out home. Get money, work out home. You see, you can beg a woman to come back, but you can never regain the time you lose in chasing her. Can you? Chasing them? Interesting.
No.
I love that response. No.
You know, in some way, it's sad that there once was a time where men would beg and proudly beg.
Yep,
I don't
there was
care
a
if other
song,
men
I ain't
sing
too proud
begging.
to beg.
I know what I'm begging for, but that's the problem.
I
isn't it?
refuse to
Men
let
no
you
longer
go.
know what they're begging for. It's like I'm begging for
I
a
gotta
woman
beg
who
you,
is,
please, for your
in
sympathy.
some way,
Please don't let me
potentially
down.
every
Yeah.
other man's woman. The egg. No, she's not mine. It's just my turn. Don't leave. It's more sense of when she does. When she does.
Guys, I'm about to actually riot because
Why?
I had a date planned for 30 minutes from now. I went to go text him. We've had this date planned for the last couple of days. I went to go text him and say I'm on my way. Can't find him. He's unmatched me.
Wow.
And it would be one thing if this has never happened to me before, but in London, this has happened to me now 3 times, where I have been saying, yeah, I'll see you later. He confirmed with me this morning, and now I can't find him anywhere.
Damn, how sad.
Dang, wait, she's just now experiencing what being ghosted feels like. I'm curious, put a 1 in the chat if you've ever been ghosted. I'm pretty sure I can scroll. Well, I can't do filtering in my phone based off of gender, but I'm pretty sure if I were to filter on my phone based off of gender, the people who I get ghosted from the most are females, including my own sister. My own sister be ghosting me. Can y'all believe that? Doing those things, she'll send me a message and then I'll respond and I don't get a response back for a few weeks or a month or 2. She not the only one. A lot of them do it. I have this mentality of I just stop talking, and then I'll get a message. I haven't heard from you, and then normally I don't say it. I'm busy, but in reality, it's like that's because you ain't reach out. Like, what do you think I'm gonna do? Reach out to you? The hell, I got shit to do.
What a lovely American girl.
Crew says 100. Okay. Oh, it's like my sister do the same shit. I thought it was just me. Like I'm older, right? Like there's a big gap between me and my second youngest sister. I'm trying to like really think. It's like 14 or 15 years or something like that, age difference. So I'm like, maybe it's because, I'm old, Like I'm not her dad, like our dad's age, but I'm closer to my dad's age than. No, that's a lie. No, I'm closer to her, I think. Yeah, I think I'm closer to her than I am to my dad. But she probably sees me as closer to my dad than her, even though she knows I'm her brother. But what I'm saying is that she probably sees me as more of a father figure than her other 2 brothers who are closer to her in age. My second oldest brother You know, I have my first oldest brother, he's still younger than me, but my second oldest brother is 8 years younger than me. So, you know, he's only like 5-6 years older than her. So, you know, they're closer. So maybe she sees me as that, and that's why she don't talk to me like that. She be asking for stuff. Hey, can you give me this? I'm like, the hell? Last time you know what? The last message she said, hold on, let me see what she said. She said something crazy. Oh yeah, this is what she said. You should meal prep me food. That's the last. I'm like, that's funny. What's funny about that? I'm like, the whole part. What you talking about? Meal prep you some food.
Bob, in London. I mean, if she was an unshaven feminist, one would call her American Werewolf in London. Yeah.
You're just jealous.
Yeah, bushy. Seriously. But no, here we have a lovely single modern girlie pop in London. But the London dudes aren't, what, they're not biting, are they? They're not snapping? They're flaking out. What's going on? What, she was used to this in the USA and she never thought, you know, these lovely London men. Oh, please. Seriously. She never thought the lovely men of London, the gentlemen. Yes. The gentlemen of London would treat her so bad, ghost her, build her up and let her down.
He's unmatched me.
Yeah. Now, I'm not saying it's good, but for whatever reason these men aren't coming through, they must have a good reason, don't they? They must see something in you, don't they? You may be putting out certain red flags, aren't you? You could be too intimidating to those men. You're probably coming on too hard with your American self.
Oh, you're probably too intimidating.
You're probably trying to throw your pie too high. I don't know. You get the point. I don't know. You could be too intimidating as an American woman, and these lovely, innocent English / British / melting pot. London's a melting pot, so it could be any type of dude, really. Men are they're just breaking your heart, woman. They're not coming through. That's probably all they want to do is just come through. But whatever. But they're not coming through the way you hope they would.
Oh my God.
It's a common problem for a lot of modern women.
That's a good one.
Even if they're not the type of women who would destroy men who were once, you know, the gentlemen of the past, the chivalrous, courting type men of the past, you know, because there's very few of them now. The point is, other women destroyed those men, didn't they? So it's made a lot of men cautious. Even if some men haven't experienced it, they hear other men with their tales of horror and turmoil, the nagging, the beatings and the bitings, interesting, of their lovely modern woman, who they probably thought was lovely, but she turned out to be, I don't know, a gorgeous monster.
Just like a woman.
Yeah, I mean, she looks good. She's a woman. Yeah. But then you didn't know lurking behind all that makeup and loveliness was a demon. Was a fucking demon of a woman, did you? Yeah. And it scarred a lot of men.
Respects me, woman.
So the yearning and begging, that no longer exists. Now it's sort of like a want, but no longer a need for a lot of decent men anyway. So I don't know, maybe that's not her problem.
He's unmatched me.
But sadly, a lot of women don't understand that nowadays a man may ghost because she is the problem.
And now I can't find him anywhere. We had a place and a time. I've spent the last 2 hours getting dressed up.
I've been working on my ghosting skills. I've become scary, bro. I think I'm top tier ghost, bro. I have got it down to a science. I'm actually proud of myself too, because like I've become a top tier ghoster. I'm one of them. You know, I've been ghosted in my past by people, and I'm just like, you know what? That it just unlocked the competitive spirit in me. I'm like, I'd be damned if I let you out ghost me. The hell? There's somebody I've been ghosting for 2 years right now. Just cause I said something, I was like, you always do this shit. Either you need to stop doing this shit. I was like, and she's like, oh, I got all these things going on. I'm like, I didn't say nothing. I was like, wrong answer in my mind. I said, okay, then enjoy your whatever the hell she was doing. I forget what it was. And then I haven't, she's reached out a few times. I'm just like, ghost. I make sure I open up the message though, because I have read receipts. So I want to make sure. Like I've learned how to play mind games too. You know, I will not be outcompeted. I've learned how to do shit test. I do all of it, bro. All of the things that they do to me, and that they do to other people, I become one of those. I become a menace.
Like the flashbacks in those like rom-com movies where the mom dies. Like, I literally look so good.
Okay, so what you're hoping for something romantic to happen?
She looks good.
Like you're hoping for, is that why you're in London? She could be studying, we don't know. She could be studying, but did you hope to find you Mr. Right in London?
Where the mom dies.
Wow, interesting. Not that she can't, and this is no insult to men from London, but I mean, come on. Yeah, sometimes I do wonder if American women think what men in different countries are going to be naive to them. It's still the West. It's still the West. It's like, no. A woman is a woman is a woman.
Ethereal. And he's not anywhere to be found. Do I still go to the pub and see if he's going to show up and just like lurk?
Wow. She must be desperate.
Like a werewolf.
I can see it. Honestly, yes. No. She's crazy, bro. She's got them crazy eyes. Remember yesterday I said if you can see like the whites in their eyes, depending on how many sides you can see the whites in their eyes, that tells you what level of crazy. She's not all the way crazy. She's not as crazy as the last girl who you can see, 1, 2, and then 3 up here. She only has this right here. So she's just like, she's okay. But that last one, I saw one that had white all around. Just, man, that's just batshit crazy right there. You can see the whites around all of their eyes, like on all sides, on both eyes. Man, disengage.
Get drunk anyway, you're in a pub. Might as well get lit. Bust open a karaoke. Yeah, get on the mic and sing some Woe Is Me bars. I don't know.
Or, like, I'm not wasting this entire, like, outfit and makeup. I hate dating in the city now. 2 years ago, this would never have happened.
Wow.
But now, I cannot get a date anymore because guys are backing out at the last minute.
Damn.
And they can't commit to anything.
Well, that's
Even
so
a first
sad.
date, I'm just so angry right now. I could scream. I could burn the city to the ground.
Chaos.
Really, woman? London, you want to burn London again to the ground? Don't say
He said again to the ground.
Even for jokes, woman, really. Because she's not being picked and chosen. Because men aren't tripping over their knobs to get to her. She wants to burn London to the ground. Again.
What the fuck? What the actual fuck? I'm pissed. I think I'm still gonna go to the pub. Because what if my husband's there? And it's
That's all for Cruz, bro. I'm not into white girls.
Literally, there was no conversation.
I'm not
before.
attracted
It was just
to
like,
him.
oh, do you want to meet on this day? And I was like, yeah, that sounds great because I don't work that day. And like, I cannot believe this. I cannot believe this.
I hate when I complain that it's really hard to date because no one approaches me and they're like, why? Is it because you're intimidating? And I'm like, no, why would you say that? And they're like,
Wait, someone's confused why no one's approaching her?
Huh?
Are we really confused? Who's confused right now? Hold on. Let me go back. What did she say? Is she confused that she's not getting?
when I complain that it's really hard to date because no one approaches me and they're like, why? Is it because you're intimidating? And I'm like, no, why would you say that? And they're like,
you could be intimidating. You probably do come off too strong. You possibly don't know it, but
has she seen herself?
Oh. Yeah, you possibly do.
you have a resting bitch face. And I'm like, no, I'm just fucking autistic. That's really it. I literally.
Bro, you know who she looked like to me? She looked like this dude, bro. She looks like Sneeko to me for some reason. She's got that like square face going.
Literally can't help it. It is painful for me to fake a smile.
She got a strong jaw.
I don't.
I mean, to be honest, it's a problem we don't think about, do we?
But she's probably really nice.
No one cares.
I mean, some men don't even care. If you're autistic,
someone should give her a chance. She could be the perfect spouse. Who am I to say? I don't know.
And it comes across as odd and you're a bit goofy. It's like, okay, whatever. Is that really men's problem or your own?
No one approaches me and they're like...
I'm just saying, because if a man had that problem, you'd blame him, wouldn't you? Does she have a resting bee face? It could probably indicate she's got a resting bee vagina. I don't know, but I'm just saying. So, yeah, I mean, you can't blame men for that, can you? But it does happen. It is a blockage for a lot of lovely single modern women, isn't it?
No one approaches me and they're like...
Just a reminder to all the men out there, even though you might have come across so many women who are there just to take your money,
just to take your resources, not really love you, show you, compassion, show you love, show you, presence. Please know and understand there are so many women in this world who want a partner that they can love. They want a partner that can connect. They don't want just a partner to buy them things and give them all the material things, okay? I know so many women out there that are like that, and, to each their own, but I know a lot of men, and I see it through all my videos, say things like, oh, they only want me for my money.
But that is what it has become. Of course, men wouldn't beg anymore. Of course, men wouldn't be so honest and upfront anymore. Of course, men wouldn't be so freely giving of their money and time.
I'm curious, why do all of these women, they all say the same thing? They're like, and I agree with her. There are a lot of women, I don't know if it's the majority, but there are a lot of women, shrinking, who are good women who want all of these things. But why do these women expect for us men to have to crawl through all this mud and trash to find them? Why the hell should we have to do that? I saw a video, I may have watched it last night on stream with y'all, where this guy approached this girl on the beach, said she looked pretty, and like some other, made some kind of weird elephant sound or something. I don't know, walrus. Why the hell should men have to tolerate and put up and go through that, like, just to find the, I think it's the minority of women. I don't think it's the majority. Maybe, but I'm gonna be fair. I'm gonna cut it in half. To have the half of women who aren't like that. Nah, I'm good. Especially with my experience of knowing what happens after they get past, like, there's an age, like there's at a certain age, they seem to all do the same thing around 27, 28. Either they're going to get married or they need to find themselves. They lost themselves, so they got to go find themselves. Something stupid.
Anymore. The reason is because it has been done, but a lot of women took it for granted and for advantage too much and too far to assume it would always be there. So yeah, we get it, we understand. It wasn't done by all, but enough did it to enough men, and in turn it made a lot of men cautious now, not so easily ready to just jump out the window. And can you blame them? I mean, for as lovely as it sounds, it also sounds deceptive, doesn't it? Like you're trying to sell something. Damn, when it's difficult to sell the modern woman to the modern man. Interesting.
They only want me for this and that. There are beautiful, divine women out there that want to see you grow, that want to love you from their heart, not because of what you give them, not because of the material wealth you have, but because of the soul and spirit you have. There are women out there like that, so don't.
So if she is right, they can love me from afar. If they don't want anything, right? They can love me from afar. So if you're one of those women and you can love me from afar, you can look at me on the stream, give me some likes, some comments, love me from afar. That's good enough for me. I don't need anything more. Just, you could love me from wherever the hell you are. Just don't come near me.
Give up and don't create that mindset of there's no women like that. They're all just, gold diggers or they just want my money. I am one of these people, and my friends and a lot of women that I know are like this. So for the men out there who think all women are just there for wanting your money or wanting your resources, there are a lot of women out there that want you for your spirit and soul only.
But it is sad that
and she's not wrong. They do want you for your spirit or soul. They want to consume that. Take it, spit it out, and then move on to the next one. So it's like, yeah, I'd rather you be after my money because at least I can replace that. It's taken me damn near over half a decade to get my soul back. Whose family got money? Maybe. I don't know. Oh, that's your feeling? Maybe not. But I did notice that I've only had like 2 major partners. Both of them were better off than me. The first one was solidly middle class, at 16, her dad buys her a brand new BMW type of shit. She's never really done anything useful in life, and she has a house because her mom gave her a house. Shit like that. Didn't pay for any college. Her parents paid for it, cash. She's in college again, getting another degree, in debt, but every time she gets into debt, her mom or dad just pays it off. And then the second one, and rich international, crazy rich Asians from Singapore, that. So maybe not crazy rich, but just regular rich, probably. So yeah, I've only been with those. So in both cases, neither one of one of them was more. Neither one of them were asking me for things, but the first one wanted to travel because she grew up traveling the world with her dad and mom took her everywhere. I'm just like, I can't afford these things. The second one, she was cool without traveling. She's like, I already been around the world. I'm good. So she's like, technically, I'm here internationally. So it's like, I'm traveling now. And yeah, she didn't ask for money. In fact, she actually gave me money. Like I said, I told you she paid my rent for a few months. So yeah, I've never dealt with a broke girl, and honestly, I wouldn't. Just being honest, why should I? When I know what I'm capable of getting. Like in my experience, I can do okay if I want to do okay. I choose not to because I don't want to hurt anybody. I have this belief that hurt people. So I made a decision that I'm not going to hurt people because I don't want to continue to perpetuate this deteriorating society that we're living in by, getting going out there knowing that I don't actually like none of these. Because I'm, like I said, I'm not, for the most part, I'm not attracted to most women. So it's like the only reason why I would be with them was for that one thing. And after that, I would do just like all the other, those chads that they talk about, how they just, pump and dump. I would be one of those. And I don't want to be one of those because I think if I were one of those, that would make me more like my father. And I don't want to be more like him. So I do the opposite of, of that. But who knows? Maybe one day I'll I'll do it. Oh shit, what is this? We emit light upon death. Oh my gosh. Let's watch that later. Oh, what's up, John Jenkins? I've never seen you here, but what's up? You ain't lying. I'm not sure what I'm wait, hold on. What was I talking about? My bad. For what it's worth, I talk a lot of shit if this is your first time coming here. Half the time, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just saying words. Sometimes they're funny. It could be offensive. The only thing that's consistent is I don't care. Not anymore. But yeah, I know I'm not really much of a liar. So yeah, you're right. I'm not lying. I don't really lie like that. But yeah, that's that video. Oh shit, I forgot to share it. Or did I forget to share it? Whatever. Let me share it again just in case. This is from Replicant Fish, the video we just watched. Go ahead and give that a like. I would recommend y'all go check out his content. It is funny, as you can tell. It's just funny. I like his editing style. Hopefully y'all enjoyed that one. But yeah, that's the last video of the night. Where are we at? We're running up on 4 hours. I'm happy to sit here and hang out and chat with y'all for another 7 minutes. If y'all have something to say, put it in the chat, and we can talk about some stuff. You want a hot take, say something. I might make a hot take about it. While y'all figure it out, I'm gonna scroll up to make sure I didn't miss any chat messages. I think you're on to something with the crate. Oh, okay, damn. Okay, I think I got everything. She got a lot of bass. Yeah, she did have a lot of bass in her voice. All right, yeah, I think I got everything. All right, cool. It's nothing? No words? All right, well then, while y'all figure out if you want to say something, I'm going to go ahead and do my typical closing thing. If you like this stream, tonight's stream, give a thumbs up. That helps a lot. It also indicates to me that what I'm doing is something that people want to see. If it doesn't get likes, then I stop doing it. If it doesn't get engagement, then I stop doing it. You can subscribe if you want to. It doesn't help as much as a like. To me, a like is that actually helps me a lot more. But subscriptions, I like those too. Feel free to subscribe. You can follow me on Twitch. And if you go to my channel, there's a link where you can find all the other things where I am on social media. So yeah. We're going to call this a stream because I don't see anybody saying anything else. I'm assuming that we're good to go. So y'all have a good night, and I will potentially see you later today. I guess it's just 12:14, potentially, maybe. High likelihood. I'm gonna say it, or maybe I already said it. I'm trying to stream 25 hours this week. So that's why I've been streaming a little bit more than usual. I decided last minute when I did my first stream, I'm like, I'm gonna try to make 25 hours, 20 hours. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take something back because I got shit to do this weekend. 20 hours. But yeah, y'all have a good night. Peace.